live, baby.
Yo, there he is. TJ.
I feel like I missed
live,
a few
baby.
of those. I was saying, I feel like I missed a few of those live.
Yeah, I think
videos.
you missed like the past 3. We've been had to use the AI TJ to fill in.
Every time now, I'm just used to pressing that button, man. I told you I'm going to get some more just sound clips from you, and we're going to have a whole conversation every time you're late here. That way we can just fill it in.
That's fine. Works for me.
I kind of like the pre-recorded TJ even better than the live one right now. All right. All right.
We live, baby.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're back. Yo, what is up, everybody, man? Welcome and happy Monday night. Welcome to F35 Live, our weekly live stream. We're here every Monday night from 9 p.m. Eastern to at least, we've been touching pretty close to 11 p.m. Eastern, I think, even though we've been kind of scaling it back a little bit these past few weeks. I feel like we're getting back into the flow, year 3.
Getting into the rhythm again. I'm kind of getting interested in more stuff that's going on in the space. So it's more exciting stuff is happening. So
it's picking back up, man. And as soon as Bitcoin starts to perk up, everybody starts to kind of crawl back.
Let's go.
Yeah. There'd be a time where a few months back, we're like, holy shit, man, this sucks, dude. It's down to 30 cents. And now we're like, woo, baby, let's go. Bull run's coming.
I don't even like to say that. Yeah. No,
I still feel like we're about to get wrecked, but for the meantime, it's been fun. Yeah, shout out to everybody over in chat. We got some early goers over there. Shout out to Resin. You got Eddie Z, Knife Bait. We got some derps in the house tonight. Mangy Business, Lauren over there. You got Garfield Lasagna. Shout out to him with the Tom hat right there. Adrian, I'm going to say the last name there because I cannot pronounce it first. DeFi Fomofo, Arrow Art, Sal. Is that Sal Mucho? You guys say that right there. And yeah, I think that's about it right now. Shout out to the derps over in the chat tonight. And
Salem outro.
Say that one more time. Salem. What did you just say?
Salem outro.
That's a good way to read that. Okay, I feel you on that. But yeah, no, shout out to everybody over here tonight. There's Moose Slayer too. Little Jelly over in the chat. Shout out to everybody showing up tonight over here. This is F35 Live. Like we said, if you guys tuned in for some NFAFA tonight, get ready because we got even more than just NFAFA. Guys, we got Buffa over there. Buffa. I know. I was trying to say because we got a Fafa going on over there. You can it flows a little bit with them. I'm gonna let them go ahead and actually introduce their own intro over there.
Bad advice.
NFAFA means Buffafa. Maybe they can have some bad financial advice, but also some fun advice as well. Maybe we'll adopt a new slogan tonight. But might as well stop talking over here and let's go ahead and introduce our guest, fellow content creators who've been crushing the game lately. Also awesome community members rocking the 8 Society and iconic Duder over there with that Mallard order. Happy Mallard Monday. Shout out to them as well. Let's welcome on our guests to the stream tonight. Bo Diddley and the man on the 1s and 2s himself, Duder. What is going on, guys?
Welcome to Bad Financial. Wrong show.
We don't let you run it.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Take over right now.
Yeah, do it. Do your intro.
All right. Welcome to Bad Financial Advice, the show that shows that not everybody on the internet is going to provide you with good financial advice. As always, I'm your boy, Bo Diddley, joined by none other, the main man's on the 1s and the 2s, Duder, and holy shit, baby. Freedom 35ers in the house.
What's up, gentlemen?
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the show.
Way too long we've been talking about this.
Yeah, it's nice to be here, I must say. It's very nice to be here.
We were talking about it backstage. It feels a little bit like a YouTube Inception right now. I've listened to I hear the intro and I'm like, okay, I'm instantly back into one of your videos and it's just a clash of creators. So it's just going to be a fun one, I feel like, tonight. Because I feel like you guys are very tapped into the community. I always see, but Duder, you're always posting some great memes, some good content over on the Twitter side. Same thing with you, Bo. And then the topics you guys have been hitting on over on your YouTube channel have been very broad. It's not just the cookie cutter stuff. You guys have done some Catalyst stuff. You guys have done some DeFi stuff. You guys have done just financial stuff. I saw the episode with Viva not too long ago. So you guys have been really hitting all kinds of things, and it's been great to see you guys growing in this bear market. For anybody who doesn't know who you guys are, can you guys, first off, why buy bad financial advice? What does that mean? And then just give us a little quick intro how you guys got started doing what you're doing.
Dude, you want to go or you want me to
Yeah,
go?
I could go. Yeah, man. So it was funny. Bo and I didn't know each other before Web3. One day I had started doing some community spaces for a project that I was part of, where the Emperor comes from, and I was doing some live Twitter spaces, and I decided I wanted to do something around mental health. And Bo hit me up and was like, "Hey, man, I would love to be part of whatever it is you're looking to do." We had never spoke before at this point. I'd found out later on he had won something from one of my other Twitter spaces. So
Nice.
But essentially, we did that for a while, and we just tried to interview different people in the space, creators, artists, founders, other community members, and just kind of talk about different mental health stuff. And for us, what it really came out of was the bear market. We really needed something to kind of help drive us forward and keep us really engaged in what we wanted to learn and the things we wanted to do. So we really tried to focus on that. And then Bo one night said, "Hey, man, I think we got to do this YouTube thing." And, first I was like, "I don't know, man, I think we're doing fine." And the bad financial advice came from, I have something that I call the wake up movement. And essentially I just do different mental wellness stuff. And so originally I was like trying to shove that in there. I'm like, I want this to be the Wake Up Movement Presents. And he was like, "How about bad financial advice?" And he said, "I just told my wife," she laughed her ass off. I was sitting next to my wife. I said it, she laughed her ass off. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. We're bad. We're the Cardano's bad boys. And honestly, the truth is I haven't been super successful in trading. So I like to kind of tell the story from the standpoint of there's different ways to get into this and do what you need to do. I tend to be a community member first. I like to buy projects that I believe in. I like to stack projects that I believe in. And, I'm not one to try to sell a ton or move in and out of stuff and try to trade because it's not really anything I'm good at. So, and that kind of led us to here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that our whole show is kind of based around where we believe the space is moving towards. Like you said, Tommy, you said, we don't really focus on one particular thing, but we hit a bevy of things in the community. And that really stems from, I think, as Web3 grows, it is going to be much more of like a place where we all come together, connect, and do economics or whatever, but build things. And so I think the old way that it was done, YouTube, I think how I got into it was going and listening to Price, listening about tech, but I think it's evolving and growing into so much more. And so, I like to think that we are before our time, at least in that regard.
Yeah.
And also the bad financial advice, I think very tongue in cheek. Cause I go around my world and I'm like, yo, you guys, I love crypto. You should, not financial advice, but ADA and Bitcoin are great. And everyone in my world goes like, bro, that's ridiculous. Why would we do that? What horrible advice. It's like, all right, I'm just going to lean into it then. It's bad advice, but I love it anyways.
Yeah. I love that, man. It's always good to hear backstories of how I'm always interested on how people get together. We knew each other, for 20 plus years. So that's that we had a crypto channel and crypto chat long before we ever started the podcast. So we talked about it enough where we were kind of just like, you know what, let's just go ahead and start a YouTube channel, a podcast, see who shows up. And 2 years later, here we are still doing the same thing. So it's even better that you guys have been able to connect via the Web3 and then turn that into an IRL friendship. And you guys are sitting here showing up every single week and creating content over here, which is really it's fun, man. It's a good little, I'll be asking you guys too, do you guys, what were you guys doing before this? Where is your free time now being taken up, or what were you doing? Because honestly, it used to be game nights, we'd get on or spend some time with the family. Nowadays, it's this.
Yeah, I would say for me, I've always been looking for something like this. I've always wanted to create. I'm not a huge gamer. I game a little bit Rocket League. I see you guys play Rocket League. I do dabble in some Rocket League. I play a lot of first person games. I'm playing Starfield now, but I don't do that enough. And it was kind of one of those things where I'm really sports. I'm a sports guy. I'm really engaged, obviously, in sports. So that was where a lot of my time is. And now it's kind of become background because I'm constantly learning. And a lot of what Bo said about this channel came from curiosity. We're also really curious by nature. And there's a lot of things we want to learn and a lot of things we don't fully understand. So for us, it really came down to there's all these great channels where we can learn about NFT projects, where we can, learn about different tokens or learn about, price action and TA. But we really wanted to create a place that was set up for people who wanted to build and engage in that kind of way, where it isn't just about making, quote unquote, making your bag from your NFTs, but how do you start to build a platform where you can, kind of have a platform to make money and create a career. I'm a retail sales manager by trade. That's where I, spent the last 20 years of my life. I've run stores as high as $35-50 million sales floors. Bo's a therapist. We're here because this is what we love and we want to learn more. So I think that's the biggest thing we try to portray is we don't know everything. We don't know a lot, if we're being completely honest, but we want to learn. And it's how do you incorporate what we're learning as we're learning in a way that hopefully will bring people to our channel to come and learn with us.
The biggest thing is it's your guys' journey, right? Just like it's our journey. We're of a similar fashion. We like to share what we have seen or what we've done throughout the space. We fumbled a lot of stuff in this space. Right. Tommy has a million beat boys. He can attest to that. I myself have fumbled the jelly cube. I sold too early. So it's just cool to see people's journeys from where they are to where they are now. You know what I'm saying? So just along the way it's fun.
And hopefully it's, entertaining for them to watch. Sometimes we can provide some entertainment and, also share our journeys with them. Not everyone likes to be in front of the camera. So some of the community members would prefer to just kind of hang in the chat. We all get to kind of share this together on the Discord, on Twitter, and kind of show I messed this up, but look where I won here. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. For me, this has taken the place, like Duder said, I'm a therapist, and I got very lucky with it. I practice a really unique kind of therapy, which I think is kind of the future of where it's all headed. So my entire world has been that for a large period of time. And so Duder, when he talked about earlier being I want to do a mental health space, I'm like, there's no one better. There's no one better. I've been doing this shit. That's all I've been doing. And so, but in going down that road with Duder, it has allowed me to expand Bo, not just who I have been IRL, but be someone different here, which has really helped me to let my hair down a little bit and grow in ways that I didn't even know I needed. But real quick, the thing that I would be doing usually is writing this therapy book. I've been working on that shit for 5 years, and one day it may come on, but I don't know. As long as this is successful, maybe it's always gonna be in the wing.
You gotta add a chapter, make a YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly. Subscribe.
Right, just plug it in there, man. I love the fact that you're right. Like you said, you're able to take some of that real world experience that you guys have gathered over the years and translate that into here and find a niche and a connection for different people inside the space. Because like you said, you never know who's going through the same, you're just interested in the same stuff or going through some of the stuff that you guys deal with on a daily basis. So it's fun to kind of lean into just being yourself. Because I feel like we've kind of done the same with us, man. We like to kind of joke around. We're gamers, we all run full-time careers. You have kids, you were married, all kinds of different stuff. But at the end of the day, we find a place to go ahead and just have some fun, a little relief just from the daily grind. So
and I think that's where when we were doing that Twitter space, it was very it was we were on the outskirts and we were both so interested in what was happening kind of inward. We wanted to get closer to the action. We wanted to learn more about, the things that were being built in the foundation of what was being built on a deeper level. And it just became kind of like you said, we were talking about it. We would do these spaces together and we wanted to show up for people who were struggling, who had lost, huge chunks of their portfolio and try to give them a place where they could go, not feel alone, feel that there is still a bright future and things that we're going to accomplish, but it was how do we do it in a way. And we would get off these Twitter spaces and get on the phone or get in and we would talk for hours about crypto, and it was kind of like you guys well, why aren't we doing this? What are we doing here?
It consumes you sometimes too, and how especially with Twitter and things like that, man, it's easy to get lost in that. But I mean, I'm not the type. My personality type isn't as much of the spaces kind of host. We like doing the video, kind of the more production, show aspect of stuff. So we found a better voice over here. Although I'm not saying, that's a touchy subject. This over the last few days, what Twitter spaces really do for the community out there. Interesting poll too. Did you guys get a chance to see that? I know we can kind of break into some of the news before we get going in some of these topics tonight. Did you see that? No. I want to say it was done. The majority, the big poll that I saw was done by Apex, one of the founders from House of Titans. He kind of put out a poll basically saying that, do you agree or disagree with Twitter Spaces and Cardano, how they can be either a waste of time for the most part, or the people that host them really don't offer or may not be qualified enough to offer their opinions almost. And it set off a big thing inside a community. I'll go ahead and bring it up. Actually, got
You need a
this
qualification
thing right here.
to do a Twitter space.
What was that?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You need a qualification to run a Twitter
Oh,
space.
that's why we don't do these.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you don't have to join it to listen.
And this is not to like single out Apex at all, but this is the conversation that got it started, and there was a lot of response to this. Although interesting statistic on this poll over here is that 71%, 400 out of 465 votes, which is like all of Cardano pretty much right now, you've got 71% that agree that those basically saying that as they currently exist, Twitter spaces, they tend to be unproductive and a waste of time. They often feature low quality accounts engaging what's termed as influencing, providing opinions on subjects they may not be adequately qualified to discuss. Those who speak the most might not have the most valuable insights, while those who are more thoughtful and discerning may have reservations about speaking. Interesting thing. What do you, Bo, you said you haven't seen this. What's your like gut reaction on that?
Well, first of all, let me say I'd like to think an infamous space creeper. I go to all the spaces. I don't care who's running it. Like, I look out for L a lot. L and Esco, they're like my go-tos. But like, I love sitting in the crowd, doing whatever I'm doing in life, and like listening to space. And yeah, is there, you know, it's kind of like, I see it kind of like the news, you know, when they started doing the 24-hour news. It's like, how do you fill up 24 hours of news? Well, you don't. You talk sometimes a lot of bullshit. But, you know, there's a solid 5 hours in there where you're really touching on some very solid topics. So it's like, I think it serves a purpose for a place for community to gather. You know, it's not like, Tommy, I think you said, it's not like my skill set is much more YouTube than Twitter space, but I appreciate what Twitter space is. And like, I would challenge anyone who agreed to this to go and start your own Twitter space, or to get on any one of these Twitter spaces and have your voice heard, because I think you can have your voice heard. You just got to dive into it and like, yeah, change it then.
How about you, Duder? Same kind of reaction, or do you tend to agree or disagree?
You know, so I've been pretty vocal even on our channel about Twitter spaces, and kind of like the idea that this is an entry point for a lot of people to our ecosystem. And so I tend to agree. I think when we did our Twitter spaces, it was set up like a show. It was Bo, myself, and a guest. We had points that we hit. We had, you know, it was very well set up. Like, we knew where we were heading. It was more in the show. And I think that was why we decided eventually to move away. I feel like for me, everything that's happening provides some kind of value. And it could provide positive value. It could provide negative value. It could provide personal point of view, you know, value. And for me, what I see when I see Twitter spaces is I do, and I will call for all of the people that host Twitter spaces, especially our biggest Twitter space host, you know, like, to understand that that is a gateway for other blockchains to come in and see what we're all about. And if we're spending our time on negative things and not on being productive in how we spend our time, it shows badly on the community. But I think, you know, you don't have to go. If you don't like I'm not a Twitter space guy. I go to, I like wildcards. I like super vibes, very low, like where it's not really about NFTs too much. It's more about just getting to know the people. But it reminds me a lot of, like, this might date myself, of like a 3-way phone call. Like, I remember when I was in like junior high, and it would be like Friday nights, like me and my buddy were on the phone with 2 girls that are, you know, spending the night at someone else's house. And it's like, you're just bullshitting, like, you know, and it's fun, and it's a good place to get that kind of like interaction. But I don't go there thinking like I'm going to really, really learn a bunch of stuff, or, you know, sometimes you hear something that sends you down a rabbit hole. But I definitely think that this speaks loudly. If I'm a Twitter space host, if they made this and it was about YouTube channels, like, I would take this serious. This is your, you know, the base of people who you're trying to reach, telling you that what you're doing right now isn't working. So I think the same way about people who are in the space that are flippers, that are, you know, community holders, and like, they're all necessary right now because we're figuring it all out. And you kind of have to see all sides of it to figure it out. But myself, I've definitely gone the way of YouTube. I watch you guys. I watch Blake. I watch Thor. You know, so that's where I've kind of spent my time.
You watch us as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Add that to that list. I tend to sit in the agree status to a degree, mainly because I don't have much free time when I'm doing things outside of work. So when I do decide to jump into something, I want it to be like productive almost in a sense. Like also, I think I'm also biased to it a little bit because we do run a show, right? So we come like kind of organized with something. So I know like what I'm getting into. And that's just kind of I'm more of an organized person also myself. So I like kind of structure. That's just how I'm wired. But there's definitely those days where you just want to hear some bullshit. It's like turn on a radio station almost, like in Web3 these days. It's like, I know what I'm about to get when I get into one of these. Although if it's a big space that's been advertised with some of the top accounts, or maybe they're talking about a big project, when I get inside of that space, I want to hear about that stuff, not just dumb banner back and forth that has nothing. It's just people yelling over each other. That's my criticism. I think of that the most of it, and maybe that's where some of that negativity comes through, because I think there's definitely a time and a place for people just chilling, shooting the shit and having some fun, versus a time where they got a serious subject or somebody up there and maybe not giving them the time they deserve because they're too focused on going back and forth with each other. Maybe how I look at it. Like you guys, Tom, TJ,
I agree on some, I think that was a great analogy, is the news. Like you said, like there's still those, what's it? I don't know, the 8 o'clock news, or whichever one's the main one, whatever time zone or whatever time block that is. I don't watch the news, but there's like that main block where everyone like, this is the real news, this is a serious one. And then you have like the 24 hours. And because like you said too, TJ, anyone can start a Twitter space. So you're just going to have people that sometimes are just hanging out or looking for something to do, or just looking for people to connect with and talk about NFTs. They may not, they may not be adequately qualified to discuss those topics, but it doesn't mean they aren't allowed to talk about them. And they may be using this as a way to connect with people. So I just think that it could be like a little overly harsh, because there's still the main shows that everyone kind of tunes into for that information. And the rest is really, I just think, there for more entertainment value.
And I think you can tell too, like the first 2 or 3 minutes of jumping into space, if it's going to be something productive, if you're going to learn from it, or if they're just shooting the shit, which that's fine too. You might have just missed a whole 3 hours of them talking something productive. Now they're just kind of chilling, hanging out, talking about movies or music.
Down the back.
I guess exactly. They're just hanging out. So you can just jump out and go to a different space or join another one later. It's not that serious. I think this is just taken a little too far across the board from everybody. The poster and the people posting underneath. I think it's really just taken too far. Too serious, I should say. It's a space.
Go ahead.
I mean, I wonder how much of this is like bear market stuff too, right? It's like, do we also just need something to complain about? Because like, who cares?
Yeah,
you know? Exactly. Who cares? Exactly. I'm with you.
Well, when there's not a lot of news, right, you got to focus on something. And unfortunately, this nice straight shooting news isn't the most entertaining sometimes. So people like to hear that controversy. They like to hear the back and forth. Unfortunately, that's just how the news is. Even in real world, right? Like they like to focus on controversy. It sells, and people.
And what do? You change the channel.
Yeah, when it's something serious, sometimes maybe I do change the channel, or other times I may be like, "Yo, this is great to watch." You sit back with your popcorn and be like, "I'm just hanging in." Yeah,
whatever you're into in that moment.
Yeah,
it's your choice.
But yeah, it was interesting to see how strongly people felt about this. Like, I do agree with you that people should kind of, even like you said, if this was a YouTube poll where you would kind of even maybe they're not directly talking about you, it's also something to kind of take into consideration. Like, hey, there's quite a bit of people who watch us. Maybe I should offer a little bit, or maybe think about how I approach these situations to grow, and not necessarily have this perception of us. Interesting.
Well, I think the ones that even too were commenting on that maybe got like, I won't say offended, I don't know what you want to call it, about it. Like, they do post good Twitter spaces and they market about it. They'll say, hey, we're having a space with so-and-so guests, or we're doing this big space with, whoever. Other times they just throw up a space because they're bored and they're just chilling. So you got to know how to look for them too as a listener.
Yeah, 100%. You got some good comments coming from the you got Mitch over here. Shout out to that. The Darkwing Duck over there from the Mallard. You guys hate when a project leads attack the community. So interesting point of view. Like, some people view this as an attack on other communities. Crawfish said he agrees with that last part of the post, saying that most might not have the most valuable insights. And people who do have more thought-provoking stuff may have reservations about speaking in some of those spaces. I do agree. I'll agree with that comment. Quarter Water says calling people low-quality accounts is a bit insulting to others out there. That was I think the harsh kind of thing. Although when I guess low quality, meaning that maybe they don't have the best valuable information, maybe the way I'd take that. But yeah, I can see how people could get a little upset with that. And in DeFi FOMO said he loves spaces, even crappy ones, but sometimes he can learn something even from some of the considered bad ones. Hey, bad financial advice, you can learn some great stuff over there. That's not necessarily a problem over there.
Yeah, I agree with the bad. Like, I was literally in a space today with it was like the Levvy account, which was Congo and Esco and a bunch of people, and they were having a great conversation on like what does value even mean, and like if floor price equates to value, and how you can go about in understanding value even separate from floor price. I thought it was great, and it like came out of nowhere. All of a sudden we got into this really intense conversation, and then they went back to like bullshit about nothing. So it's like,
yeah, exactly.
I did see somebody who was like, there needs to be somebody who takes notes of all this stuff and cliff notes it for everybody, who like sits in these 5-hour spaces. Some guys like, I'd pay for that, like just to get all the information out of it. So there's a need out there for that. Shout out to he said, I love wild cards over there. Is that the man himself hanging out over in chat?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't have that.
I can't think of their name. What are they called in courtrooms when they take the notes?
Oh,
Stenographer.
What is it? Stenographer. There you go. Need one of those for spaces.
Yeah, just like sitting in the corner.
Like everything, bro.
Like minutes.
So and so said this at this time.
I thought I was talking about the guy who sketches them too. We were just watching Modern Family, and there's the episode where he's like the dude, what's his name? David from Schitt's Creek is sitting there taking notes about the what's his name? The redhead dude. And he's like drawing them all crazy funny. He's like, stop letting him draw me like this. He's just making fun of him the whole time. That's all it reminded me of. I don't know why. Anyway, going through, shout out. He said no info from Wildcards. Shout out to Wildcards over there. I wish I had the whole soundboard. That soundboard, you talk about somebody who runs a space that takes some preparation, and imagine no normal person could do that space over there. I looked at that soundboard and the behind the scenes for him, man. That stuff's crazy what he's got going on over there. That takes some skill and talent right there. Shout out to all the Good Spaces hosts that do run a proper show. And even if it's just fun, like shout out to Clay's After Dark. We were on there, was it 2 weeks ago now? Run a great space over there. Have fun. Everybody kind of comes, pops in and out. They've got some music, good vibes. Everybody's got, like I said, their own niche in the space. And I think there's something for everybody. You just got to find what you like. And like you said, you don't need to jump into every single one.
It's crazy, but I actually feel more comfortable doing this than spaces. So shout out to people who run in those spaces, because I like the visual cues of when to enter a conversation or just interjecting versus the spaces, because I am not good at that at all.
You ever find yourself in the space and you just raise your hand?
Virtually, dude.
I also like I'm so impressed by space hosts. We tried it for a bit. Like, I feel like YouTube is so much easier, like you have the person right in front of you. You can feel the vibe of what's happening there. Like, you can still feel the vibe, but like, it's tough.
Yeah.
I've
had full Twitter spaces where like I was actually a co-host with Bo and Grape Ape Records one time, and I think I said 3 words the entire time because it was just like I didn't want to raise my hand. I was just like, I'm just gonna sit here, and I was literally like a co-host, but to me it was like I don't even know when to get into this conversation.
It's fun. Like sometimes you're like, you don't even want to disrupt the flow or like get into the middle. I was like, I'm just kind of listening right now. Like, and you feel that pressure though sometimes, especially like when I first got going into space, it was a little nerve wracking to jump up in front of there with some people. Nowadays, just for doing this is so much easier. Makes that pressure go away.
Tough too, Tommy, when we do it, and like in TJ, the couple times we've been on and we just have terrible like technical issues. Like it's crazy that $44 billion company or whatever can't even get something that like Ventrilo had down 22 years ago. You just like talk on call online. It's amazing how bad it works, and even just how like the host will drop out, and it's like, oh, sorry, like we lost the entire space because we lost the one person hosting. It doesn't just like transfer, and the whole space is gone.
Also, I'm a ridiculous narcissist, and I can't have anyone have an opinion that differs from mine. So if someone gets in a space and has a different opinion, like I'll be the one dropping the thing, be like, screw it.
Error made a good point. Rather like being able to make comments on YouTube, I will say I wish they did have like a chat section in spaces. That'd be great for people who are comfortable with talking but have good input like that post was saying. That'd be great.
Or even just early in the space when it's still slow and you're like, hey, we're not going to get like fully into the topics yet because we're still waiting for some people to come in, and we don't have 40 people in right off the jump. But then it's like 4 you guys in here. Do you have anything you guys want to contribute? And they're just unable to do anything unless, like you said, TJ, they can come up to talk. And sometimes people listen to these spaces. The good part about them is they're mobile, but you may not always even be in a place you want to talk. If you're like on the subway or even at work or something like that.
Getting my kid to sleep, I can't talk.
Exactly. But you could type something in the chat easily and communicate. And the fact that doesn't even crazy.
Yeah. 100%. Well,
they should turn the emojis into like sign language so you can like say something.
Spell it out. Yeah.
Dude. I would love a live chat over there, just live comments on that. That would get things out of control. Almost like the pin to the chat, like have the live chat running over there. I can imagine that gets chaotic over there. There you go. That's a good way to put it right there too. Spaces are like live podcasts. Some podcasts are great and informative. Others are just crap. There you go.
It's true.
One or the other. And then shout out to O-Side showing up over in chat tonight as well. Evening financial advisors. We got some fun advisors. We got some bad financial advisors. But hey, at the end of the day tonight, have some fun with it, man. That's all I can say. I want to go ahead and jump into this because I don't know if you guys have got a chance to go ahead and are you guys involved at all in like anything Cornucopias? Have you guys gotten a chance to experience their ecosystem at all?
Not really. I mean, obviously we know where they are and been watching from a distance, and saw some clips of the game, but I have not dove in now.
I think I bought a couple of javelins a while back, and then I think I actually still have them in the Wake Up Movement wallet. So I do have a couple, but I'm not super familiar with what they're doing currently.
Yeah. So look at this, Joe. He's our resident Cornucopias. He's like, why aren't you guys talking about corn? They're doing so many cool things. What are you doing? When are we talking about Cornucopias? Well, Joe, I can proudly say tonight you're actually going to get some live gameplay of Cornucopias because this weekend they went ahead and dropped a post. They've opened up the testing in for their Toledo Valley, which is kind of like their game hub of their world. And inside of that, they've opened up the Toledo Valley Raceway, so you can actually race and they have access for mythic holders and legendary holders of their vehicles and lands. So I went ahead this weekend, swapped my uncommon javelin for a legendary javelin over on the secondary. And once I did that, I was able to go ahead and log into their website. You connect your wallet, connect your, your Discord, all that fun stuff. And then once you get your rolls and you reload it down here over on your account settings, so if you guys wanted to do this, you could go ahead and get a legendary asset. You could go ahead and set all your stuff up. And then at the very bottom down here, go ahead and hit this little roll thing. It'll refresh itself, give it a little bit of time, and eventually it'll pop up that you can get launcher access right here. And once you get that, you can actually download the launcher for Cornucopias. And from there, it'll actually you'll find it token gates everything so that it'll verify that you have the asset. And once you do, you're able to actually download the game and get a chance to play it. So I figured, why not get a chance to go ahead and showcase a little bit about Cornucopias? Because I know for a lot of people, ourselves included, we've been seeing a lot of stuff over on Twitter. The graphics look great. I know a lot of people played it over at NFTLV. We got a chance to even play it back at CNFTCon in 2022. But now it's different when you get a chance to actually do it at home and it gets into your hands. And I know we've talked metaverse, we talked gaming, like what the future of all that is. It's so ambitious. Why do they need this much money? And I think like seeing it and experiencing it now actually gives you a new appreciation for like what it is that these guys are building over here on this chain. So from here, I'll go ahead and exit out and get my little gamer stream set up, and I will showcase this in 1 second.
Did you record any footage yesterday, or you didn't do live right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it live right now. Figure why not we just give you a little look at it,
preview how bad Tommy is.
That too. So you guys give me 1 sec here. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll pop myself out of here stream so it doesn't. You guys can go ahead and give me like 1 minute, and I'll go ahead.
And this was what they had at CNFT LV. I'm pretty sure Tommy, I think, just didn't get a chance to actually play. He got the footage of it
this year, yeah.
Watch. But I just don't think. I think there's that many people just kind of waiting to do it, so you can actually sit down and play it.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I mean, it looked. I mean, I watched it from quite a distance, but it looked pretty incredible.
It is impressive what it looks like, honestly. Even last year we went to CNFTCon, how far they've come from then until now, too. It's really cool. I didn't realize Tom was going to show you it's an actual like open world area, and then he goes into like the game itself of the racing. So I didn't realize. Cool. I thought it was a separate kind of entity itself. So
to launch, that's what I mean. It's supposed to be, kind of that full fluid immersion. I assume.
Yeah.
Go with like that real, they're trying to make a metaverse. Still, I think I'm the same way. TJ are like, oh wow, they actually like did that, and it's like, well, that
Yeah.
is what they said they're gonna do. But in my mind, I'm like, that no one's gonna do
Yeah.
But
Yo,
not work properly.
I'm so excited for like I'm a big fan of VR, and like Meta just came out with like the next quest, and so I feel like we are right on the precipice of like this kind of game, and me being able to like put on a VR and like experience it on a completely different level.
That's literally what I'm waiting for. When the VR integrates NFTs, that's gonna be metaverse to me. Like truly, like that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna talk about FutureFest too, I think later, and like it's just gonna change the game so much. Like spaces are gonna be different. They're gonna be on. We're all gonna be together in a room. It's gonna be incredible.
Well, we learned last week too with the farmers market. I just really like the voice chat, like proximity voice chat with everybody. That is really going to be like you're there talking with everyone. So I was saying last week how people who didn't get to go to NFT LV have a chance to interact with some of these projects, or just people in the community that they didn't get to see at NFT LV, but almost on a personal level of being right there with all of them.
And I think Poppy made the point that people are kind of in that environment, like see what they VR chat. It's different than when you are like, if you were to walk by groups of people talking at NFT LV, you probably wouldn't maybe just like walk up and insert yourself into a conversation if you didn't know them. They were all strangers. But in like that kind of VR world, that would be much more appropriate. You'd feel comfortable doing that and just kind of jumping in like, what's going on? All right, that's cool. I heard this word, so I'm going to start talking about it now.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. We got a booth, and so with the proximity chat, people walking by, I'm just gonna start yelling and I'll be like, "Hey, you robot with the green shoes!" They don't want to hear me. They got to keep walking.
All right. Can you guys hear me again? I think we're back now.
Yeah.
It took me a few seconds to get swapped to the OBS camera, but we made it work over here. I guess what would be the best way to go ahead and pop some gameplay for you guys? There we go. That works. Did we lose anybody? No, you guys are all here. Good. So this is kind of like your start screen, right? Once you get inside of here, you can go ahead and select your character pretty much for right now. And I'm actually playing over on an Xbox controller, which works pretty well with this. So you don't need to play on the PC. It actually works really well. You have two different servers right now. You've got Europe and North America. Europe seems to be the better one for races at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and load up into here. But yeah, this is actual live gameplay from the alpha. So keep in mind, this is a pre-release alpha. So there may be some bugs and stuff like that. But yeah, I have to say that I was super impressed with this game itself. It really does feel like a AAA game. And that's like a very encouraging sign, I think, for the development of Cornucopias. Because when we hear like Web3 game, a lot of people are building games, but it's like an empty kind of void world that doesn't really feel alive at all. And if anything, it's like second tier graphics half the time. And it just, I don't know, it's not fun, right? You can jump in there for a second, but outside of that, you don't really care too much. But Cornucopias, like, this is where you kind of start off just to get a chance to see their like hub and everything. The voice acting super well done. The graphics and stuff look very like real, like the Unreal 5 and stuff. It looks amazing over here. And you can select your character and kind of start walking through their little portal hub. Disclaimer about this: it takes about 2 minutes to get to the other side, like actually running, just to get over to the other side of this map right now, without a vehicle. So, but it's actually really impressive what you're able to do so far, even in this kind of early environment. It's really cool too, because they've got little secrets right now. There's like a little hunt right now. If you see on the right hand side, they've got like, they call it hollow caches, and they've got different rarities to those caches over there, common all the way up to mythic, as well as some ore. I don't know how to get any of that ore yet, although I do need some help on trying to find this stuff. So if you see these little pads that have like the different colors between like white all the way up to the mythic, you catch those and they'll actually pop up the little Cornucopias thing and add to your XP of your level. So you can kind of see right now I'm level 5, and as you get those, they'll increase your XP as well as some racing and stuff. I know there's a lot of little Easter eggs in here. I just haven't got a chance to explore as much as I'd like. I just downloaded it the other day, and actually look at that right there. This is the first time since I've gotten a chance to actually see other players interacting at the same time here. So shout out to people actually playing, which makes the world feel alive over there. Shout out. I wish
they jump in the race with you.
Dude, yeah, if you guys want, that's what I wanted to go ahead and run and showcase the world.
Can you chat with them? Can you talk to them?
Not right now, no. And I don't know that there's a...
Can you hit them?
I can't hit them. We can't fight yet.
You can like grab them like Fall Guys, drag them off the edge.
Yeah, just drag them off the edge. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what's your guys' kind of impressions? It's the first time kind of seeing like some gameplay of Cornucopias. Like for me, this was like kind of like a, oh wow, like What's that?
Press the down arrow. Show their usernames.
Look at that. Oh, shout out to Dad's Relics and little downstream right there. Yo, where the hell? I've never even been up here.
Wow.
So actually, see, I learn something new every day up here.
Yeah, this is awesome. No, this is
That is
very
cool.
impressive.
Yeah,
More
it
than I
is.
thought they even had. I thought when I saw a lot of this footage, it was more like things. I didn't think it was quite at this scale yet.
Well, the fact that you can actually like get around and like move around inside of a giant world like this, it looks really well done. There's like elevators, there's like different things you can go ahead and find inside the map right now. Even in this pre-release like alpha right now, it's very encouraging. I feel like for me personally.
Gosh, it to me it looks expensive. Like ADA gets up to 30 cents, and all of a sudden we're like all rich now. Look at this. This is incredible.
Right? Like it actually feels like a true like I said, we always kind of reference like Cornucopias as like a AAA game over here. And it definitely feels like that, looks like that. And so far, even from like early, sometimes when you're doing they make these games like, just the overall feel, the movement and stuff like that is a little like wonky, a little off. And I can tell you like my sensitivity even on the controller is like it's a little sensitive, but it's not that bad. And on top of that, the controls actually feel like pretty polished for what they are even in this early state. But the fact that
playing with the controller too.
Yeah, I'm playing with the controller, and the rendering time on this, like if you actually look at that, all the stuff that's going on in the background, I'm not clipping or anything. I do have to disclaim I am running this on a 4090, like so one of the most powerful graphics cards. So
But you're also streaming it though too, so that does kind of take from it as well.
I was gonna say we're not losing a lot of frames right now.
No,
which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would have the show would have been over right now on your old computer.
We wouldn't be talking right now. Yeah,
you'd be on fire on your computer.
Absolutely wouldn't be talking right now on this. And yeah, so I'm making my way over to the actual racetrack right now. Like I said, it takes a couple minutes to walk over there, but these are the examples of the things that are like on the walls where you can go ahead and find and add to your little holo cache. I have no idea what you get if you end up getting them all. That is something I do need help with, but
I'm sure people are much further along.
There's people who completed these already.
That's what I mean, yes.
Did you say you can level up right now too, or no?
Yes. So right now I'm at level 5, and I need 1470, 8 to go ahead and get to level 6. But look at this, like even this, like all the different. I love the fact that they've got like their own like stuff over here. Like they have the burger barn, they have the burrito thing going on over there. They got all different. What I really wanted to showcase was the security, the berry shops. They've got their own little. Brands, their own little world. Yeah, this thing right here actually talks to you as well. Like it'll like stop you and says, where are you going? Like stop there. Like, hey, it'll like recognize. I don't know. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's just security right there. Already. Yeah, I think he's got mad at me right there.
I tell tie his shoelaces together and run away.
So if you guys take a look at this is one of my favorite things, is that the raceways right there, but you got like the Valley Grand, which is like their hotel right here, and how you kind of get into stuff. It's like, I don't know. For me, this is way more than what I thought I would get right now.
I agree. 100%.
It's definitely running real smooth, and the colors are really awesome. Just like the setup is really cool. Like you were saying earlier, it's not just a ton of dead space. There's so much to look at. So you just imagine as they continue to build and they get, through the alpha situation and continue to grow, like build this thing, there's opportunities for so much to happen across the space. But I'm really impressed because it is running smooth, and I almost, you just don't expect that.
Oh, not at all.
Do we know when the release date is? Like, what's the time frame of the actual release of this?
I have no clue, to be honest with you. And this is where I need to get more tapped in with what they've got going on, because they've got tons of guilds and different things going inside the Discord, and people are obviously testing far beyond this. I think they're looking to test like the actual like the Solace like lands, or like the ones where you can basically, I don't know, like you customize your own like build your own stuff inside of it. The big bubbles, I think, is what they are. Or maybe Solace is the first land of there. Like there's different worlds. I forget what they're called over there.
I mean, even seeing just this footage, I don't know if they are not already doing this, but they could potentially start marketing a Web 2 with all the stuff they have going on right now. It looks really good.
Well, like I said, this looks like a real game,
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just like a Web 3, like, hey, we're a Web 3 game, we're building some stuff. It's like, oh, this game's kind of interesting. Like, how can I get more involved with it? What do I got to do? Oh, well, you can download it for free, but if you want to access certain things inside of it, you need to own these NFTs. Oh, what are NFTs? Oh, well, here's how we can onboard you to get into this. And these assets that you own One cool thing about it is like your vehicles and your land and all that stuff. Your vehicles, any races that you do, any stats that you upgrade are all tied to that NFT. So that if you want to sell that NFT later on, it's got all these accolades to it. Maybe you've leveled it up. Maybe it's like Notorious or something, whatever it is. You have that ownership now, which I think is really cool. And we've kind of just started to explore what that even means. But yeah, this is the elevator. We just went up inside the hotel to go ahead and get into the race. And then you can kind of see the tracks on the outside. It's a really nice little preview, the little window. And then from there to actually access the race, you come over to this little kiosk right here. You hold down Y if you're on the controller. And then you have two race tracks you can choose between, the Colito Yellow and the Colito Red. Colito Yellow is the easier of the two tracks, and we'll go ahead and we can start with Colito Yellow to go ahead and do a race. But as you can see, I got all these bubble jets down here all locked off right now. But if I had owned the NFT, depending on what rarity it is, you can actually unlock this to play at the moment. So your NFT is tied to this. These are some free vehicles inside of here. All of them have different classes, like a Class C, Class A, all that fun stuff. The GTI, I do, like you said, I had that legendary Javelin, so I'm able to actually play with that right now. And this is a Class B vehicle. And then finally, the Valley Raceworks. These are free to use right now, and these have some of the best stats. So I've been using these to go ahead and race at the moment. Once you're ready to go ahead, they've all got different stats, different handling. I'm assuming they're going to have different race classes as well, based upon all the stuff that I'm seeing. And then from here, you just hit A to ready up. You get inside of a lobby, and it'll take you to like kind of like the little launcher section, like the pre-race, and then it'll actually count down how long it takes to go ahead and get into the next race before it starts. And then from there, you get pulled right into a lobby, and if there's other people in there, you'll actually match make with them, and you can actually play some races right now, which is super cool. That's what you can kind of see it right there in that background, that little bubble.
You're losing a couple frames.
See, this is a game where I would definitely like say like, all right, let's hop onto this tonight, boys. And like, we were talking about like the games that are coming out like in Web3. We're like, I don't know if I would actually take time away from Web2 games to play that game on my computer. If I'm going to sit down on my computer, I want to play a specific game. But this is a game that definitely I can see myself. All right, let's hop on tonight. We're going to play this.
100%.
Especially like if you said, Tommy, if it's alive, like if there's a lot of people online, you get on, there's just people running all over the place doing shit.
Yeah, we got racers too.
You know, I can imagine this. Yeah, races, which I can imagine they could expand it beyond just racing too. I mean, you want to play some bumper cars?
Yeah, fun. Twisted Metal.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. These guys know something that I don't, because they're way faster than me.
They got the.
I'm using my afterburner right now. Yeah, I am. I don't know how the afterburner works though, to be honest with you. I know that obviously it cools off, and after a certain point, I check how fast I'm going, and I need to stop using it so much. Otherwise, I'll
not see the racer.
That's what I'm saying. They're just taking off. Like obviously these guys have been practicing. They're waiting to show me up over here. Oh, this guy's streaming it. Let's go whoop his ass.
We're coming though. We're coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm behind him over here. We'll see how fast we go.
Yeah. They're gonna screw up any moment.
See, but I don't know how to use the afterburners effectively. Yeah, that's what I need right now. I need like a quick bullet bill at this point. Man, see, so the other cool thing is to hit the wall right there. See the body health at the bottom? You can actually blow your vehicle up too. So if you hit walls a lot, you can actually absolutely destroy the hell out of your vehicle.
I know people have been wanting a new F-Zero game. Nintendo won't give it to them. They could come through with like a competitive fun version. It's the real deal for sure. Especially, I mean, I've seen you jump on and be able to race other people, Tommy, because we were watching you do it earlier. Just solo.
Terrible at these turns.
Doing it, so you're going too fast. Can you like drift or anything?
You can strafe, like so left, right, like that.
But I mean, can you chain drifts together to get boost?
That
turns.
See, yeah, I was braking on that last one because I was going way too fast, but I didn't brake quick enough.
Drifted.
See, I think I need to hit like the angles on the turns a little bit harder. Yeah, dude, of course. That's what I'm saying. But
I was playing the 50cc race.
Look at these guys. They're like about to lap me right now.
50cc races.
How's the handling?
The handling on this, so you can see I'm moving my stick like left, right pretty hard right now, and it's actually moving pretty quick. I see something's got to be up right now because these guys are about to like lap me, and I feel like I'm not going like that slow right now.
Are you using your boost? Joe said press A for boost.
Yeah, I'm holding it down right now.
Are you supposed to use it strategically, or is it like kind of?
Well, so look at the bottom right. There's a little temperature gauge. So I'm holding it right now. You can see obviously like my boost is increasing at the moment. I'm like almost at 600 miles an hour down there in the bottom.
Someone in
Maybe it's
chat's
like
freaking out. They're losing their mind.
pulse the boost.
They're like, what are you doing? I have no idea, to be honest with you. Maybe the legendary vehicles, some of them obviously are got to be faster than what. See, like you got to strafe.
That's what
You
it
got
is,
to.
Tom. That's how you do
See, I was gonna try to blow it up right there. Damn.
He's got a faster car. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he
Yeah.
said?
No, I'm just giving you the excuse of that. You got a 10-second car.
Yeah, I
Well-
bet that they just stay here and build up XP and put it all into their car, and then they just like noobs come to race. And they
There's
just
waiting. See, I feel like is he laughing at me right now? I feel like they got to be on. I feel like they're just paused in the middle of the track right now, waiting for me to show up. I think I just saw one of them too.
Look behind
Faster
you.
or faster.
Oh, I don't know how to look behind me. Can I look behind
You only
me?
got so many buttons on your controller, man. It's got to be one of those.
Oh, that resets me. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, look at it right there. See, afterburner. That's a good thing to
A-class
know.
is the fastest.
What is that?
A-class is the fastest.
Oh, I'm in a B class right now. That's probably why. But
You're
it-
racing Dom right now. Family.
Family. 3 classes. A obviously is the fastest. Now, how am I supposed to use the boost? I was trying to figure this out with the
I mean, you
actual
might be
game.
doing it right. I never played it.
If you look at the bottom right, see how it's like the temperature is all like super high right now?
I can't really see it though because your name.
Because your name's.
Yeah, you see that look? Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I'm on my last laugh right now, so these guys can laugh at me as we go ahead.
You're in first place. It says.
Oh, watch this. Oh, I thought for sure I would just blow it up. Oh, I forgot because I didn't do that.
Don't let the temp go too high.
See?
Boost.
So that's
slows
what
you
I've been
down,
doing. So
man.
watch. See the temp's in red right now, so you let off of it. Then you boost up, and it's good.
I guess you got to play that, find that balance on the throttle. You can't just go
Yeah.
straight power.
See, I need to get the Valley race.
It's
where
impressive though to
T3.
see that it actually can race like that already. I didn't quite even realize it was quite there. I thought you were just playing like a demo race earlier when we jumped in, Tommy, to be honest. 'Cause you were just riding around the track by yourself. Or they had passed you at that point.
See, that's what I didn't understand right there. He said if your temp goes too high, it slows you down.
I mean, TJ read that out to you. Go racing on the track.
I was so focused on the race right there that I absolutely
responded
cannot.
to
I think you said that, and you're just like,
And you
yeah, no, I
did
know. I hit the boost button. I go faster. I was like, yeah.
It's red.
Honestly, I'm excited to see what they add to it. Like, I think it's a great foundation for a racer.
Absolutely.
But I do want a gun or something. You know?
Oh, I agree. I feel like there's got to be obviously beyond the racing as one aspect to it, but there's obviously there's going to be like farming, of course, right? Like you got the different resources that you're going to have. You can obviously even see that over. I can't pull it up right now with the cash, but there's different things to collect. So I don't know where like the shooter comes from, but when they did showcase that preview way back when of like a custom dome where someone was like doing like a shooter inside of it. In third person, so I know that's a thing.
For what they have now, though, it looks like it runs really well. The amount of details that are in there, it runs smooth.
I really want to try it out on on your PC, TJ, to see like the difference.
I can't. Literally, there's my graphics card won't work because it's old.
Okay.
I already checked.
Dude, this makes so much more sense now. Yesterday I was using the Class A stuff, and today I was just scrolling over because I like the color and didn't realize I was on Class B over here. That's why it was
chose
slower.
a Class B car because of the color.
Yep, that's why you can't trust me over here. But good thing, don't make my mistake over there. Yeah, but that's really cool how like the token gated assets too are like all. What do you say?
Well,
PvP and custom dome kits. That's cool.
Hey, even go look at the glass there, Tommy. You can see around the track. There's like other areas where you can are close, like right there where all those like windows and everything are. Where people like, I assume you're gonna be able to watch some races. There's some bigger races coming up, like as a community.
Some bets.
There's a bunch of people in here.
Ooh,
Even from
see?
here, you'd have a great view of just being able to like watch the race, like exactly like you said, TJ, then like place bets on it as a community. If it's a race that had eliminations and things like that, so you're not able to actually compete in them any longer, but it's a big race for the community. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I love that right there. And yeah, if you guys want to get out of this, you can actually return. Let's see if mine lets me. Does not let me return to the resort. Let's see if the mouse lets me do that.
I think I'm curious. We had the show with FutureFest, and I know we're going to talk about them in a little bit. But one of the things that I think is always so fun about these big open worlds, whether it's Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead, where you can get into these things with your friends, and how do you make it feel like you can go have almost a night out, like with your buddies, and have those experiences that are, whether something goes wrong or whether something funny happens, so I'm really curious to see, because it's a very lively world. So if they can find a way to incorporate some sense of like risk, or like the idea that you don't know what's going to happen, I think could add a lot to it.
100%. Well, it just brings the world alive too, right? Like the fact, like just seeing those people in there, getting a chance to run around with them, even in the most basic of like alphas. I think that's a great start right there, that they were able to test this. They were able to get matchmaking going. They're able to go ahead and token gate, because they can boost, show your assets. The fact that you can even download this just because you have a certain role. Those are huge barriers. I can imagine, like technically, not to mention just all the good visual looks that you can have on this. So I highly encourage, if you guys are interested in doing that, recommend going ahead and you can pick up a legendary asset right now if you want to go ahead and do this. They are opening this up to other roles as well. Eventually they'll make their way to rare, and I'm assuming they'll eventually open it up to more and more people. But if you guys are looking to get in right now, you have a mythic or legendary asset, go ahead onto the website, log on, go ahead and sync your role. The download button should work. Do keep in mind there are certain graphics cards that are required in order to play, but they've opened up so many of them, all the way down to like the 2000 set. TJ, they almost got yours in there right now,
well, mine's like 8 years old, so I definitely need a rig.
Mm-hmm.
1080 Ti, I think, is the lowest, or 1080, I should say, is the lowest for graphics card.
But yeah, super big shout out to Cornucopias over here. I've been finding myself wanting to log on and race a little bit more, go dig through the open world there, go collect some of those assets, see what some of that stuff does. And there's tons of people. They have a testers chat over in their Discord, and there's people constantly posting lap times and different things. So there's people in voice chat over there if you guys are just looking to play. So huge shout out to them for kind of getting, paving the way over there. I know Pavi is building as well. To me, this kind of more is, I guess, my vibe a little bit, just personally between the two at the moment. But it's good to see that both of them are bringing that. And look at that, like they feel like gamers to me. I don't know why. Like when I look at like Cornucopias, like they truly feel like they're gamers at heart. I did talk to Rob briefly, I think, at the first CNFT con, and just kind of listened to him even in that short amount of time, and how the passion they have for that. That's one big thing about too that a lot of people don't talk about, but the fact is they're content creators too, right? They host a weekly podcast,
constant updates.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things. Like I'm a huge Bungie fan from like the Halo and Destiny days, and I would love to get the weekly update every Thursday. So the fact that they run like a weekly podcast and give you an update on the game, show you some sneak peeks, are involved with the community, man, that just says like, it feels like I said they're true gamers, and I love that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they definitely had a vision here, and they're definitely sticking to that. Base grows and really developing on what they seem to have planned from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Which at first is seeming much more and more likely and realistic. It gave it a fair share.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how you can have different like levels to what you do, and we kind of talked about it with like Goombulls or Cardano carts, or before blockchain mages rugged, like this idea that a lot of people were shooting too high. They were shooting to try to create these games that were going to be really difficult to make, and some of the newer projects that are gaming based seem to have kind of shifted and said, we're going to do platformers or tower defense. But this is really impressive because, like you said, it completely reads as a AAA game. It just feels like they're accomplishing the things they're setting out to accomplish. I'm super impressed. I'm glad we got a chance to look at this because, like I said, I bought it at the beginning because when I first got into NFTs, Metaverse was like the it thing. So I, drew my line and decided that this is where I was going to go, and I'm excited to go move that asset and get some games in.
Yeah, and interesting question there from DeFi FOMOFO saying that can you rent from Fluid? And I assume maybe Levvy, if they have the capability over there, to be able to have that asset over there in your wallet and get a chance to play it. And I don't see why you wouldn't, as long as you sync the role to your wallet. I can imagine that you would be able to go ahead and do that. And as soon as it goes out of your wallet, you will not be able to play anymore because it won't recognize that. And that's the beauty of the token gated stuff. So yeah, if you guys are interested in doing that and there's people out there renting, that's honestly it reminds me of like the Web3 blockbuster, right?
Days. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Now you got
100%. Just going out and running video games. I mean, I don't know. Do Redbox still have games at them? For a while, they did.
I haven't got a Redbox in
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Redbox still
either.
exists?
I mean, they're still there. People see them in Publix all the time, but I've never even stopped to look at one forever. I don't have a DVD player even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love with this is they've got the like the Web3 vibe of like bringing the community along for the build. You're building your project, and like you said, Tommy, in Discord, you know, the community gets in there and they post racing times and they're doing all this. It's like, to me, that's one of the best parts about Web3 is like we're all doing it together.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and I'll back out real quick because otherwise I'm going to rug this thing. So shout out to Cornucopias. Shout out to everybody who showed up over there from the team. They are super supportive too of content creators and anybody who's promoting out their stuff. They have a spotlight channel. They have an influencer channel for anybody who's doing like actual live content of that. So highly encourage anybody who's interested in this stuff or who is making gaming content. Like if you're wanting to get in on the ground level, it's a great time, and they're super supportive of people like that, especially even as big as they've gotten in this market. So huge shout out to them for sharing the video tonight, and anybody showing up over there to give us a live demo. Big thanks to you guys. I will be right back here.
Oh,
I was really impressive though. It was a lot more than I realized. TJ, when we first jumped in, we got to see him play a little bit before when we had just joined the stream and start before you guys had both jumped in. But seeing him run around like that, I did not expect it to be at that level yet. Especially
I think it's
the early access. It's impressive early access.
Yeah.
It's smart how they're slowly like letting people into to kind of slowly stress the servers and see how much they can handle before anything kind of bugs out or freezes or whatnot. So kind of just slowly everyone getting in there, they're gonna test everything out, which is smart.
I'm sure
the gaming companies to do. Yeah, absolutely.
Early enough that they want people in there breaking it and doing whatever they can or getting areas they're supposed to be in to see what they need to fix. Because that's how they're gonna make it better.
And I'd imagine too, eventually they'll have like an actual, even if you don't own an asset, they'll let you play for free, get a free, because I know Tommy said there was a free version of the vehicles that you could choose from. So I'm sure they'll let people test it out for a period of time as well.
Yeah. Crawfish said, Corn assets are on Fluid right now. I don't know. Are they on Levvy? I'm not sure on that one. I'm over there. What? That's the power, dude, man. Like even shout out to like all those lending platforms that, you know, that think about this 2 years ago when we first got started inside this space, the fact that, hey, you can rent NFTs now and these NFTs can get you token gated into different games. Like that thought doesn't even make sense at that time back in there. And look how far we've come, you know? It really is.
Which is business ideas too for people. If you have a ton of these javelins or vehicles, you could literally start your own little vehicle renting business like you do with jet skis. You could just say, hey, you want to rent this to play? There you go. 58 to rent.
That whale that stocked up on those Class A vehicles. Hey, you guys out there can't afford these, come rent them from here. And you got a business
for an hour
inside of your little land, right? Like, man, that's where I think that where stuff can get really kind of interesting, right? Like business owners can actually have like a use case inside of these little worlds for people that want to play who may not have the time or the money to invest in some of this stuff. But the people who got in early, it's like, hey, if you live in a downtown area, those people who acquired that land either inherited that or they got really lucky on a deal. And now they're in a position to be able to do something where it's kind of the same thing, right? We're early in a sense. And
Kobe Board Gaming says there will be renting in the game. That's cool.
Oh wow!
It's what Farmer Nash did with Axie. You know, he like the whole reason he's called Farmer Nash is because he got so many Axies and just rented them out to people.
Yep, dude, isn't that crazy? Like, there's a market for that, and that's like in the bull market. Obviously, things are a lot more fun because prices are up. Everybody's making some money, hopefully, and there's a lot more excitement surrounding it. So, I can imagine like if you get in early on some of this stuff and it takes off, man, like. Huge thing.
Yeah. Why not? It's like changing the way in which we understand economics in our world. You know, human activity can be turned into economics. Just because it doesn't fit in the old mold doesn't mean it can't be a dollar sign can't be attached to it. So like this is just the road of the future.
Absolutely. Oh, so you just said a key word right there, Bo. You guys are leading me right into these segues right here. I knew it was great bringing you guys over here. Speaking of future, also FutureFest and Virtually Made tomorrow is Halloween, Tuesday, October 31st, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UTC. If you're in Europe, I'm not sure. Damn, I'm not. I don't memorize that. Right? I'm kind of beat that into my head at this point because I'm trying to remember what time tomorrow.
Don't mess it up. Got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it right there. But speaking of cornucopias over here, they have a corn maze. They talked about it last week, but seeing it now and like how perfect is this for like Halloween? Like having it, like they got jump scares and stuff in there.
It's fun, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Tomorrow, I know you guys got a chance to talk to FutureFest as well, and you guys I've also talked to the Virtually Made team, Veggie Mates, and them as well. Are you guys looking forward to this?
Yeah, I'm super stoked. We actually got a chance to get a booth. So we do have a booth there
Awesome.
tomorrow. We're right outside of the Mallard Order Swamp of Souls and right outside of the Goof. So we're actually like, you could see the Mallard from where we are, but we're really excited, man. I think, we really love what Goofs are doing. We've gotten, decently close with the team over there and just kind of watching how they're functioning. And we had a chance a few months ago to talk to Jub and Beast Dives, and then recently with the artists of the project Stagwolf and Robot Limb, and just a great group of guys and a great team of people who are really working not just to enhance themselves and what they're doing here, but everybody around them. And they're all living together and they're working out and they're doing all these things for themselves, and it's bleeding over into the community. And like for us, they reached out to us after our interview and said, hey, we would love to give you guys a booth if you guys wanted to set something up. And they're just really good at reaching out to the community. So for me, it's the idea, you guys said it earlier, I didn't get to go to Vegas this year. I was really bummed out. I missed it. I want to see it. I wanted to go, and this is a great opportunity for Bo and I to get a chance to just get to be in a more laid-back environment with all the people we engage with on a daily basis and get to have those conversations. And we hope to, create an environment where maybe we can get some people to subscribe, obviously, and go watch our videos. But more than anything, it's just a really good opportunity to go and network. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're referencing that video right here, but how cool is it that their team is all kind of like living together right now? They're creating this Web3 company with Virtually Made, Goofs, and Veggie Mates, and to kind of see that vision. It's got to be fun working with your friends. And I know we got a chance to talk to Beast Dives too a couple weeks ago with was that last Monday actually? Wow, yeah. And shout out to him. They're doing their interviews, they're doing all their stuff inside their house. I can imagine how fun that can be as you're a creative. Over there getting a start.
I love it. Let's all get a house. You come on, TJ Tong. Let's
do it. Yo, we're gonna come live with you, dude.
There it is, right there.
Bring the wives, bring the kids.
I did see. I did see Beast Dives too. He actually posted, I believe. I was trying to find that over there that you guys do. I forgot you guys actually had the booth over there too. How awesome is that? So what do you guys got going on for your booth?
We're gonna give mostly bad advice to anyone who comes by. We're pretty skilled in that art, so yeah.
Dude,
yeah, I mean, really, we asked him. We said, like, should we bring something? Like, is there something? We're not super tech guys here, so like, is there something we need to create? Right, exactly. Bag of potato chips, 2-liter soda. And they said just bring the homies. That's what they told us. They said just make sure you bring the homies. You're letting everybody know. So our big thing is just to have a good time. We're excited just to be part of it. We started our channel almost 5 months ago now, almost 6 months ago now. And so just to be, to me, it's like, we talked about it kind of at the beginning, or maybe it was before we started recording, but how weird it is to be here. Like we watched you guys as we were, forming our ideas and really before we even thought we were ever going to have a channel. So it's cool in the idea that we're right outside of the Mallard Order, like we're right next to the derp, the derps are right on the other side on the, back end of us. Like it's just cool to see our name up there and kind of being recognized with some of the people that are really pushing stuff out. It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool when people come up to your booth and stuff, want to actually chat with you, your guys' fans, and hey, it's finally great to speak to you guys in person per se, to kind of voice chat, which will be a nice experience for you guys.
I remember too. I know. Shout out to Ryan and Devon over from NFTs. RIP to them. I know they're just they just shut down recently, but they were in the farmers market earlier, and they got it earlier in the year, back on 420. And they kind of had their booth where they were talking about their own stuff as well from the content creator side. So that's got to be like a fun experience for you guys. Yeah, this is the post I was trying to find from Beast Dives. He was kind of shouting out everybody up to the event, and he was shouting you guys out over here. So I'll definitely be stopping by the booth over there tomorrow to go ahead and chat with you guys. And the proximity chat, dude, that's got to be a fun, crazy kind of thing. Kind of a dangerous thing, and like most when you think about like Web 2.
Yeah, actually, I mean that might get bad. Hopefully, people have some.
I feel like our
control.
space is a little better than that. Yeah, I would hope.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
Duder touched on it a little bit before in talking about what they try that they like are trying to create like authentic situations like in FutureFest, right? They're trying in the farmers market, so they have the proximity chat, and they also have like, I guess, like things to like jump on or things that are going to jump out at you to just like make it more, I don't know, like connective experience,
immersive. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's fun even seeing all the little sneak previews of like all the different booths from everybody. Everybody today was posting little sneaks. Like you got like Snack inside of there. You've got, like we talked about, you see Club Mars, I think, in the back over there. There's tons of different projects. I saw Ape Society post about it today. There's Cornucopias, Goose. The other one, which huge shout out to Mallard Monday and Duder. I know you're a big Mallard fan yourself as well. They got the swamp going on over there. We got a preview of it last week when we were over there, but they did say they've got the 3D Mallard ducks going over there. And I have to say, it actually looks pretty good, pretty well done over here in the 3D mode, which you're going to be able to buy these as well, from what I understand, these avatars.
I got to stop by there.
Absolutely. The swamp looks so good. I think the Mallard booth, you can kind of see it. This little preview over there. They where is the thing? They actually posted. Here's actually a good thing right here. It's a good overview of the map. Actually, I didn't get a chance to see this yet.
I love how legit they're making that. They got the little area where you can see everyone's booth and where they're located. I think that's great. Exactly. I was saying, I love it. That's great. 100%.
Dude, I wish NFT LV had this kind of a setup for it, to be honest with you, dude. Like when we were doing like the overview map. Yeah, they should learn from some of this stuff. But I love the fact that they kind of cultivated like the small town field, like a farmer's market, and like how you could actually like, that just feels like a little community event. You go with your family, your friends, whatever it is, and you have a good time. And I feel like they're doing a really good job about nailing like the immersion factor.
Great list of projects there too. They have some really 100%. Big names coming in there. Not
huge names like Mallard already is. Honestly, like anybody who's inside of this space is it feels like they're in there right there. Yeah, Goofy Gophers. Look at that. I mean, everybody. Bigger Virtual. You got JPEG Store.
Snack, Boss Cat.
Bad Financial Advice, number 25 right there. Yeah. There you go. Dirt Birds.
Clay Nation.
So many. Oh yeah, Clay Nation as well.
Ugly Bros, JPEG Store. Yeah.
I can imagine as they iterate on this too, because we were talking about like the 3D stuff that they're able to do, as more and more of the 3D files or like metaverse stuff becomes like enabled, or they build out 3D assets, that you're going to be able to eventually to like connect NFTs from different collections and be able to bring these into these worlds where it's going to get more and more fun for people. I will look forward to that.
Yeah, because they want to do them twice a year now. So I mean, they can just continue, especially if this becomes as popular as we're hoping it is, that we want it to be. I think that some other projects could see, there'd be value in them. Even maybe, hey, look, we made some of our own assets you guys didn't really offer, but now people can run around as us. We're going to be in here, so why not?
Yeah. Well, that starts tomorrow. They did say it goes on for about 3 hours. It starts at, I guess, technically 10 p.m. UTC, which is 6 p.m. Eastern on our side. And if you're on West Coast, 3 p.m. So I think West Coast got the best time slot, to be honest, either West Coast or Europe. Because West Coast, you're either like middle of the day, and if you can jump in, it's great because you can still do your Halloween night. And if you're on the like in Europe, it's like 11 p.m. ish. Europe, you're done your whole day, then you can log in and go do your thing. East Coast over here, we're gonna be like, 6 o'clock. TJ's trick or treating out there, right? And we'll probly be hanging out for a little bit.
6 o'clock. Tommy's trick or treating out there.
Tommy's passing out candy.
What would that be, UTC, Tommy?
10 p.m.
You get to do in like 4 days, right?
Oh, I got you. No, I don't. What's going on in 4 days?
Daylight saving time is this weekend.
Oh no!
Is it really this weekend?
It's going to fall an hour back. Oh yeah.
I used to get an hour of sleep though. That's a good thing.
Bo, make a note, bro.
I agree over there. This is one thing I still he says, tell me that this meta project isn't going to dominate. I do think that FutureFest does not get the love and recognition that it deserves inside this space. I feel like they were so ahead of the game when it came to like what I guess a Web3 virtual event could be. And
I think they're taking the metaverse thing like serious. Like they want to truly be just a metaverse. They're not really trying to be a game. They want to be this immersive reality where you can kind of join in and kind of hang out with your friends as you can in like a real world setting. I think they're trying to really take that to the next level and prove that to everybody.
Yes,
because they're not saying it's a game.
Right.
I mean, especially with our conversation about spaces earlier, like to me, this is what it's going to be. Like instead of getting on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, you know, we're all going to go into the same room and like I'll be able to throw like tomatoes or whatever at the people on stage. You know,
That'd be cool.
Dude, wouldn't that be so? Did you guys ever get a chance before this to experience a FutureFest event?
So I was familiar with him from the Cardano women event. I did not get a chance to go, but that was the first time that I saw like clips of what it was like and kind of what was happening. So I think for me, what it comes down to is I mentioned earlier I was a sales manager. I worked for Best Buy, and I know a bunch of sales managers and general managers still work there. And I just talked to them. They all just went to an event in Texas for all the sales managers, all the general managers for holidays. And I just think to myself, like, you know, a company being able to go in and save flights and hotel rooms and still give you that immersive feeling, still give you the ability to go from room to room, have that time together. Like, to me, this is such a great opportunity to find further uses to help go to Web 2 because, you know, I just feel like there's so many companies that would love to do those type of get-togethers and to be able to make it something where you
absolutely
do digitally so cool.
Well,
companies love saving money. I don't know if you guys know this, but they love it.
Absolutely. Well, the fact that that's the beauty of FutureFest too, is that they've got the technology there. It works, like it's proven, and they can build out these worlds pretty quickly. And with enough timing and stuff, imagine like we were talking about, like we're over here in like Orlando area where they do like EDC and stuff over in the downtown area, and that's a huge, obviously, event. Imagine doing like an EDC event that's virtual for everybody who can't experience it, but the DJs, like how they had Cascade and all those guys, they can do their live sets, and you can get super probably creative with your worlds and your sets. Obviously building them digitally versus in the amount of money, you know, if they have a few $1 million budget on that, imagine spending a few $1,000s on this for these guys to be able to build that out.
Well, I was going to say a lot of major artists are doing it. I think Travis Scott just had one recently where you could go. It was like a metaverse type concert on PlayStation. Like there's all these artists that are already looking for that. So when we asked them, like, you know, we sent them our information, and like 24 hours later, they sent us a full rendering of our booth and what it was going to look like, and all the color. You know, they were able to like incorporate our colors into the tents and all this stuff. And it's like we asked them on our show, like, how hard is it to create these worlds? And obviously, this is a real Halloween theme. Like how, and it was like not really that hard. You know, they're like, obviously they have the technology built out, but they can do it in such a quick way that it really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the connections too, like they are very well connected out there in LA. Talking to Poppy about that, they've got like actual, like, I mean, they were able to secure Cascade, you know, back in 2022. That's a huge headliner right there. So the more success they have with these and the bigger these events grow, you can imagine that it's going to attract all these different artists' attention. They're going to try to figure out, hey, who has the tech to be able to do this stuff? And people like FutureFest are sitting there right at the helm, and that's great for Cardano too.
Huge.
You know, huge. So speaking of 3D assets and avatars over there, I don't know if do you guys own any Clay Nations or Good Charlotte Clays?
Oh,
I have one.
I got two.
Yeah, one. They just dropped a post over here. I know obviously the regular Clays have been going on, but with tomorrow being Halloween, they did announce that the 3D avatars are able to explore, and that the fall pants for them are going to be dropping in the Clay token the same way they did for the originals tomorrow as well. Have you guys got a chance to explore and kind of take a look at your Clay in 3D yet?
I haven't.
Honestly, I've been so behind what I need to do with Clays. So I will jump in sooner or later.
Yeah, I went ahead the first time before I lost my blue Clay, RIP to that thing. I did get a chance to get my pants, and I need to do it for my new one as well, but I logged in over here. If you go to the clayspace.io, you can actually go ahead and like take a look at your 3D, you know, Clay now. So connect your wallet and it'll go ahead and grab it from there eventually. Let's see, should pop mine in here. I've got one red one over here that I still hold on to from Mint. And yeah, you can kind of see now the 3D version of it. It's all pantless right now.
Yo,
but their website, yeah, if you've never used the website, like, and actually been into the stand, it actually plays very well too, which is why I'm excited to see as they open that up more with a little bit of Sonic Village stuff here. Their kind of take on this stuff, because a lot of I mean, they've got the sandbox stuff, which is fun. I tried out the sandbox. To be honest with you, I'm not too impressed with it, or didn't really have too much fun with it. But their world definitely is kind of enticing, right? Like they've been building it now, and they've got a really cool IP. And honestly, I love the way these things, it's a cool little gaming avatar. It's just going to be at a different medium. I feel like the virtual festivals, they've kind of got like their own little mix of like FutureFest, maybe mixed with some of like a Cornucopias, kind of like detail. I don't know where they're really going with it yet, but what are your guys' impressions of like getting into the Clayverse?
Well, I got a question real quick for you. Why didn't you like the sandbox stuff? Like, what was it about it that you didn't dig?
It was just not, I don't know. It wasn't really engaging. Like I was running around collecting like little soccer balls on one of them. That was, I mean, I haven't dove super deep into it. It just it felt kind of boring. I was like a dumbed down version of like Minecraft to me. Maybe I wasn't built. I mean, I'm sure there's other games that may be fun to play. It seems definitely more like a social hub too, because when you get a bunch of people on there, obviously you can have a good time. But just solo jumping in there, I got bored pretty quick. So
well, I think that's a huge thing, as you talked about it with Cornucopias. Like you want to go back, and it's like maybe you haven't experienced a ton, but you know, like I'm always a firm believer, like it's the content, it's the game, it's their responsibility to really drag me in and make me want to play it. Starfield's a good example of that. It took me like 12 hours before I felt like I really was even playing a game. I felt like I played a demo the first 12 hours, and it took me forever. And it's like, to me, it's like you got to make me want to come back. You got to talk me into dragging me away from that NFT, you know, the NFT stuff, or drag me away from sports to go want to play the game. And you know, that's important. That's an important thing for them to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be engaging. Like that's the one thing about these people who are building these metaverses, these large things that obviously take quite a bit of money to do, is that you hope that after all that time and effort that you put into this stuff, that somebody's actually going to want to play the stuff that you built. Because that's how things go. You know, a lot of these companies are going to go bankrupt and just kind of disappears because they had a vision. We even saw that recently with Metadance, which you know, we got a chance to interview them last year. They were all excited about bringing somebody, you know, a new developer in, and unfortunately what they were able to build, it was you know, the time in the market was awful. But what they had built just didn't get enough traction and not enough user base, and it wasn't sustainable to keep it keep going. And unfortunately there's going to be plenty of those that don't make it. So you might think for Clays and things like that, but go ahead.
I mean, I was just gonna say, you can have the coolest tech, but if no one shows up to use it, it's worthless. But also with the Clays, like I think that they have the best IP, like the character of their world. I think has the most, I guess, stickiness. I'll use that word as well. It has the most stickiness. Like, so I'm excited to walk around that world more than most others.
Oh, 100%. I do. So you guys didn't get a chance to play in the stand earlier when they originally launched that first kind of marketplace experience. Yeah, that was, I'll give them, like, it was actually pretty interesting for what it was at that time. Like, you actually got to go in, there was like a digital shop, like you walked around and then you could select it from the actual just like kind of like aisle, like it was a little like podium stand. You go up and interact with it and go buy it, and it had like a digital like tablet in like clay, and it would connect to your wallet and do the transaction. You can buy the stuff. And obviously the marketplace now, like if I wanted to buy this, I could pay 54 ADA and get the tentacle pants to add on to this thing. And obviously these are just early cosmetics and things like that. I'm sure there's going to be way more of this stuff as time goes on. But it's just interesting to see like the tech in this early kind of stage of what you can do. And eventually, hopefully they keep it engaging enough to be able to stay in here.
Can we see the shorts real quick? On the bottom of that page, there was a pair of shorts that looked, oh yeah,
I got you right here. There we are. There it is. I gotta go ahead and ask. I haven't even looked at all these right now, but I didn't realize you could preview all the different options over here, which is actually pretty dope.
It is cool.
I wonder if they have never nude jean shorts.
Yeah, some shorts.
I don't know why I didn't click on that, Tommy.
What, this one?
No whitey tighties.
I would love this one's so expensive, the like the orangutan costume, because obviously those clays are some of the most expensive. But I can imagine like that's a huge flex in this little world right there that, you know, some people care about, some don't. And it'll be interesting like how this evolves over time. Like, are people going to value this stuff higher, or is they just gonna be like, I don't care about this stuff anymore, and the prices drop low? Like it's too early to tell. So I'm kind of like, I'm not paying anything ridiculous out of my like pocket that I normally wouldn't pay for these like in-game consumables, unless I plan to like really invest hard into this stuff. But I like.
Now, how does it work in terms of like when you buy the pants? Are they resellable? Are they able to? Yes, are they attached now to the NFT?
So if I go back right now, like I have my clay pants that I have from my original one. So there's a marketplace for these. I can go into my assets and click on sell right here. and choose the amount of clay token to go ahead and sell it for, and it'll actually list it on the marketplace right through here.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's nice to be able to do, and you can just pop in and out of that. And if like I said, if I wanted to go ahead and buy somebody's stuff right now, you just click on that, you click buy the NFT, and it'll actually pull up and build a transaction, and I can go ahead and sign on my other screen. It'll actually pull my Eternal wallet up right now. So
that's really interesting to me, because my wife's listening, cover your ears, but like I would say probably 10 years ago, I spent so much money on NBA 2K on tennis on shoes, because you could buy shoes. And I just then the next one comes out and hundreds of dollars worth of fake Nikes are lost into the abyss. So it's kind of cool just to see that you have the ability to move around, and if you want to change your style or change up whatever, you have those options. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And it's all working inside their website already, and I think a lot of this stuff's super early, but at the same time, it's good to see that it's working. And it's just who knows where it goes from here, like how big it grows. I'd be really interested to see as the pitches and stuff kind of come to life and what you're able to do with that. But yeah, this is their website if you guys haven't got a chance to play around with it. And it's really nice too, because you can always go ahead and find your assets. And also, if you guys have not voxelized your stuff, you can actually see if stuff has been put into the sandbox or not, if it actually has a little tag on it, or if you've never baked a clay before and you wanted to actually buy an unbaked clay, you could actually come to this website right here, click on the never baked, and you can find all the ones that are listed currently that have been unbaked. So good little website to use.
Those would be good sniping opportunities.
Absolutely. And
that's how you found yours unbaked, right, Tommy?
No, I was just on the plane and I saw a good deal. It just happened to be, I got lucky. It happened to be unbaked.
Is your old one baked now or no?
No, no, it's still, I don't think so. Let's take a look at it. No, it's still unbaked right there. I never made it. Still never not upgraded over there in the sandbox. Who knows? I don't know if you guys saw over on our Twitter here today. Did you see the dancing video that I reposted?
Yeah.
When the first FBX files came out? It was just a little clay. It was like
I know you were messing with that for a while. That was last year, yeah.
But that's one thing that you can do over on their website too, is get the FBX file for your clay. You can go bring them into those websites that actually just preset animations, and it does this right here for you.
And this is actually mirroring your dance moves, right? You actually recorded this.
Yeah, I actually mocap this. It's just breaking it down right there.
Good moves, bro. Good moves.
Shout out to Clay though, man. It's always good to get a chance to check. I don't know. I'm hoping that I get more stuff with these GCs here, or get more information out of that. I would love to be able to run around that red clay with the same way that blue one's there, because I miss that thing so much, man.
What happened? What happened to your blue?
It's a great story.
Oh man, dude. So we were in Clay's After Dark last week too, and Zaddy up there was like, yo, or sorry, maybe it was Billy Clay. He was just like, Billy Clay's like, Tom, you want to tell that story? I'm like, really? You're gonna make me do this in front of all the Twitter space right now on a Clay's Twitter space? I like to play with fire, and I'm a Degen at heart, and I was having a lot of fun during DeFi season in the summer with Levvy, and I like to go in and out on Levvy. And the only problem with Levvy is that they don't have push notifications on I gotta be logged into the app to make sure I know where I'm at. Well, I was about 6 hours off on my alarm, and TJ shoots me a text. I'm in the gym actually, right down the road. He goes, bro, you sold your blue clay? And I'm just like, yo. And not only, the worst part about that, not only did I lose the blue clay, the good thing was I minted the blue clay, so I was actually up a couple thousand ADA, even though it sold at that. But I lost about 2,500 ADA probably on that sale. But I also lost Ore. I lost the Space Bud. I lost a few things inside of that transaction. I had 10,000 ADA worth of assets in there. So,
bro, you listen. Next time you decide to use Levvy, let me know. I'll give you a great loan. You put whatever asset you want.
You say that, but Tommy, you were pretty close on the last one, weren't you?
I also just re-loaned out my regular clay just the other day for to buy some Optum over there. I don't know if you guys were playing around with some DeFi, but I definitely did that as well. So still playing with fire. Haven't really learned my lesson. I did. But yeah, so speaking of, those are kind of some of our main topics that we want to jump into tonight. I know we got a project we'll kind of dial into here maybe in the next 10-15 minutes. Just want to take a quick look, recommend it from the community, have a couple of whitelists, maybe look at, do a live research reaction. Outside of that, anything on your guys' like minds that you guys have been interested in, like or jumping around in, like playing around inside the space? Anything piquing your interest?
Well, speaking of Levvy, I like ebb and flow with Levvy. So before I was pretty into it, and I like got a bunch of gophers, and then I missed Levvy, and so I've been selling a whole bunch of stuff to like get back and to give out loans, and I love it. It's so easy, it's so smooth. Like I don't know, to me it's like such a win-win, and it's a lot of fun. So now I'm like messing with Crocs. I'm like hoping people default to me and give me their Crocs, and then I'll probably hold them for a little bit and then be like, oh, I want to get back into Levvy, and then sell them and like do it all over again.
Yeah,
I love it right now.
I've had so much fun with Levvy recently. One of my favorite things that I got a chance to do is like really double Degen down inside of Levvy. We were talking about it when we were doing game night. Was when the Dirtbirds Outpost mint happened. They started doing like collection offers. Like the floor was like 370 ADA at that time. Collection offers on Levvy, the loan offers were going for like 300 ADA. So I would take my 300 ADA because you're not getting that. By the time you sold them at 370, you were almost down to 300 ADA at that time. Yeah. So I was just I had 9 of them. I got all my liquidity. I would remint. I would maybe get a large or medium, take the Degen route, sell a couple of those, and then eventually the next morning I saw a large pinnacle perch for a pred, which is like the highest faction over there, for 1400 ADA. I was like, that's actually a pretty good deal right now. I went inside of Levvy, loaned like 5 in a row at 300 ADA, picked it up, was able to snipe it. Then after they sold out the loans that I got for 300 ADA, the floor jumped to like 4 something. I was able to pay back like the 10 to 12 ADA interest on those, and then actually reloan them at a 400 borrow price on Levvy. So I made my extra 96 ADA on top of all 9 of those. And then eventually I let those default because that became the higher, it became higher to leave it alone than versus what the floor is now. So there was like layers to it.
Man, that's masterclass. That's a masterclass.
It's like super Degen mode. And then doubling down on that afterwards when Hunt was going on, you can now do the tokens over there as well. I had 10,000 Hunt tokens, and then it ended up doing a loan on those 10,000, and the price dropped. I swapped the Hunt or the ADA that I got for that loan, bought more Hunt tokens on top of that at the lower price. The price rose up a little bit, was able to sell off that, and then I was able to accumulate more on top of that.
Nice.
Wow.
So,
bro, I'm just gonna follow you.
I didn't know about that last level 2. I didn't know you even went further with it, Tommy.
Dude, I was able to, and then I sold off a lot of that Hunt token to acquire some. I think I bought some more Yummy recently. I bought some more. I bought some of that Optum that just came out as well. I like to go in and out of things. That's my
he does plays too at like between 1 and 5 in the morning. So we always hear about it like maybe 2 days later, and the play's already dead. So we won't hear it afterwards.
Out of you two right there, do you guys work in that fashion where you're like, hey, like I'm just like one of you guys is like a personality with how you trade, or like you don't like, hey, I just did this. You're like, dude, why didn't you tell me about this?
We're pretty like, we definitely have the vibe of like hold and chill.
Yeah,
I think, I'll speak for me. Like I have moments where all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I gotta make moves. Yeah. And all of a sudden I'll start making moves. But for the most part, like I love believing in shit, and I will hold on to the stuff I believe in, even if it, rides to the ground. I'm like, they're coming back.
Yeah. Duder, what about you? Are you bouncing in and out, or are you kind of same thing, just holding?
Same thing. I'm terrible, man. What ends up happening is, so like right now, I'm kind of at the point where I'm not putting any more ADA into the NFT market. Like I'm just trying to stack some ADA.
Yeah.
And but what ends up happening, man, is I get bored or I get really excited. So like right now, like I'll be honest, man, I kind of faded derps for a really long time, a lot longer than I should have. And then as soon as I got a little bit of time, I spent some time with the community, was in the Discord, met Dave, started like, now I'm obsessed because I'm like, this is what I've been looking for the whole time. I like the gamification. I'm honestly, when I came here, I never came here to make money. I think that's what's made this so easy for me, and it's made it kind of like when I came here, the money that I put in, I minted Ape Society. I had a really good mint for the Ape Society. I made ADA there. Then I started playing with that ADA. But now I got some stuff for sale. I throw stuff up. I tend to really put stuff higher, and then I slowly, I'll take an offer or something. But normally it's just because I want something else. So I try to limit myself because at this point I'm selling mostly everything for a loss if I'm selling it. So it's like, how can I just hang on to everything until I can start making some money?
Do you guys start to feel like, 'cause I know I'm feeling it now, the pressure of like, I got way too many NFTs or my liquid and way too much NFTs. I really need to be in this DeFi world or be back in ADA, because I feel that wave starting to build up. And I know it's coming, but if I just hold off too long, I feel like I'm just going to miss out again. Do you feel that pressure at all?
Yeah, I would say that's where the Viva thing comes into play. So we've gotten to know Viva pretty well, and we started doing. It's now going to be a monthly episode. Like, explain it to me like I'm 5. Yeah, we want you to. We have no idea what's going on, and he was telling us about DeFi plays a year ago. He was in the LV last year talking about DeFi plays, and even I was kind of like, you're crazy, dude. Like, I'm trying to buy NFTs. I'm in the NFT game, and so I feel like. Now it's like, how do you get to that next? How do you get ahead? So like, like you said, optimum, these new things coming out. Like, how do you get to that point where you're kind of ahead of the game a little bit? But then you realize that we're really ahead in a lot of ways. And if you believe in these projects, you believe in what they're building, and you believe in their mission, we're really early on all of this stuff. But I really think that's where Viva's helped me, is to better understand long-term plays. How do you start to stack stuff to the side so that when that that opportunity comes in DeFi, you're able to jump in. You have the liquid, because that's been tough for me, man. I got to the point where I was super illiquid. I had so much in NFTs, and then it's like, you want to start making plays, and it's like you either got to put more money in to make plays, or you got to start moving assets at a loss. So it's it's kind of like, how do you position yourself for the ebbs and flows of the market, and how do you get yourself ready to buy when the time comes? I think is really where my mindset is.
Yeah.
It's just hard because you can connect to NFTs so much easier than connecting to a token. And so I see a picture of a dope ape, I'm like, oh, I vibe with you and your dope ass wig, And like, so it's easy to jump into that, but like,
it's a good point. It's a good distinction for sure.
Yeah. Like Duder said, thank God for Viva, because even if I'm sitting there like, I don't know, I don't connect to this token on an emotional level. He's still in my ear being like, Bish, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Do you think these floor prices will stay the same when Cardano goes back up again?
I think I'm very like cognizant about what I'm selling now, because I think that the influx of human beings into the space is going to make these prices look pretty whack. And so, no, I think the floor prices, I think everything's going up, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
As long as it's good and building and consistent.
It's like part of that market cycle you guys explained. I watched that video with Viva and you guys, and like I said, it kind of racks your brain a little bit once those charts and all those little lines and things like that. It can get really confusing. But for people who have been studying this stuff, like I said, this all is cyclical. It happens. It will continue to go this way. Now, obviously, you can't predict everything, and there's a lot of other factors in the world that are going on that will affect that. But at the end of the day, these guys have proven, like the people who have done it before and traded in those markets, or who made it in Ethereum on the DeFi side, they see that wave kind of coming on over here and in other blockchains as well. And it's like, it in the back of your mind, that you need to be like paying attention to it. And I just feel like that pressure it's this wave is starting to form up for me. And I'm like, I need to be like active, which is why I'm really happy with things like Levvy. Like the fact that I can get instant liquidity on NFTs, even if I'm considering selling it at a loss, I can still get that liquid. I'm not sitting around waiting for somebody to accept my offer right now. Like that is really nice to be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I love sitting back and being able to earn some ADA back, because like you're right, stuff's gonna pop off, and like the more ADA you have, like everything else could fall in the ecosystem.
Right.
But like to me, ADA is like gonna be steady, it's not going anywhere. So the more ADA I have, the like safer I feel. So I don't want to miss it.
And I know stacking up definitely seems to be the move, at least for now. I see some people over in chat as well. I know, I saw that project as well. Inkwell, I don't know if you guys saw that with Cherubim over there. You did post a really cool tweet, which is also why I think we find like roots inside the Cardano community, because of the support that people have. I've seen this project kind of pop up on my timeline over here. But he basically was like, look, I minted almost 500 out of 2022 of my art. Said it would have taken me months to go ahead and do this in any other format. This is amazing to me. My goal is to spread my art. That's why $22 at launch. And he just said, thanks to everybody over here that's doing that. Like, seeing artists have a spot inside this community and people support inside of that. I mean, that's a really cool thing to still see outside of just being able to be a regular artist and the power of what blockchain and marketing can do. Now I did, we're getting 20 minutes in. I did want to pop up over here. We don't need to go too long into this, but I was interested because there is a project that we get recommended projects all the time from people. But usually when there's somebody inside of our own community, you know, we tend to listen a little bit more. I don't know, have you guys got a chance to see a project called Octoworld at all? I know they're new, but I have been seeing these a little bit more. And maybe you've seen these tridents somewhere. Have you guys got a chance to see any of this stuff yet?
I saw it in Mallard's Discord. They have a giveaway for it right now running, actually.
Yeah, so coincidentally, guess what we're doing tonight? Same thing over here, which this by no means is any kind of an endorsement for anything. This is kind of like some live research over there. I did get a chance to DM with the founder over there. Mr. Inkwell is his name, or Mr. Kaya over there. But so this is a new project popping up, and I wanted to, I guess, when you guys go back like and look at like your timeline on this, like when you were researching a new project, what were some of the first things that you guys did to kind of take a look at, to judge, hey, should I mint this? Should I not? Like, what were some of your guys' initial reactions to take a look at?
I mean, Twitter, how many Twitter followers they have, what their posts have been like, their website, if it's like, if they like built it overnight and they like drew it themselves. I remember one episode we like looked at this one project. It was like a weed project on Cardano, but it really felt like they just like drew it and then like scanned it into the computer.
Yeah, these are I'm not too familiar with what they've got going on. I read through the white paper briefly. I like to kind of do a little live research. I'm a very like impression kind of person. Like if I see something that looks interesting to me, I'm more inclined to actually like research it a little bit. Now, one thing I will say is like the artwork, I don't think it's like a cheap type of artwork from this stuff. It actually looks like they're, you know, some of the traits are interesting. TJ, you were talking about it inside the white paper. Like it looks fun. Some of their collections over there. Now, one thing for me though that I'm big on is like, would I ever rock these things? I can say probably personally, maybe octopuses for me aren't like the go-to for what I'm doing, but there's a market and a place for people who do like this all, and it is something different than just the average cat, dog, ape, or whatever it is. Cat, dog, whatever it may be. But yeah, so I guess when you start off, so your Twitter is an engagement thing for you guys. I'm in the same kind of boat. Like when I see lower followers and things like that, I'm maybe not inclined, or maybe, hey, I was early. Like they opened this up yesterday or last month over here. I also take into account like community members and like, are people posting about it? Are they, you know, is there hype around it? Are they in spaces? Are they putting themselves out there? That's another big thing for me as well. And
they do have a space coming up next week, you said, right? With
inmates, I believe, right? Yeah. And one of the interesting things is they're working with Cardano Croc Club over there, and they can actually now, even their tridents, which are like their like kind of top tier asset that gets you whitelist, gets you access to like their council, their royalties, all that fun stuff. You can actually stake that for C4 over on Swamplands right now. Also, they're verified on Mutant's raffle platform, so they've got partnerships, which is good to see, right? Those are like respectable communities inside of here. Yeah, so that's good. When you see that,
I think that's one thing you got to look for. Yeah, I think the other thing, like for me, I always look at like with blockchain mages, something that actually jumped out at me during our video. We did a video on them, was like how long the Twitter account's been around. You know, like they at that point had been around since 2016, and they had like 3,000 followers. So you start to like, you know, you're like, is this a new account? Is this an account that's from a previous person? Did they buy this account and switch it? Like, you know, you have those questions. So I tend to be more cynical when I look at them now. I've been burnt quite a few times, so it's like I'm almost looking for specific specific things to be wrong. I'm looking for like a lot of retweets.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like partnerships that when you look further into it, they're not real partnership. Like that's what's exciting about seeing them working with Crocs, and that Crocs is actually integrating them in. You know, you have these things where other people will say like, talk about partnerships, and then you find out they're just giving away an NFT from somebody that they purchased with their own money. It's like, those are the type of things where I need to know a very clear vision of like, who are you involved with? Who are you learning from? Because that's the other thing. I go back to the Invadas. That was one of my first projects here. And like, they were so secluded and like everything was in their own thing. And now that when I look at stuff, it's like, are you listening to the rest of the market? Are you paying attention to what's happening in this space? Or are you so insulated that you're not catching these little things that you're able to make a pivot or find new ways to drive either revenue or holders into your project? I think is very important.
Absolutely. I do think being connected, especially on the early side of things, when you're first getting started, it was easy to do it back in 2021, even in the beginning of 22, because everything was so hyped at that point. Nobody actually did research into a lot of this stuff. They just threw money at anything new because there was an opportunity to flip. Nowadays, a lot of people are very hesitant with that. I mean, even look at somebody like Pavia recently, who just did another mint right now at 400 ADA, and only sold a few hundred of these things, or just under 1,000. Maybe they went over that by now. I don't know. But just even some of these big projects that have at one point were like the titans of the industry, to see, if you get a little disconnected with people and aren't actually like in the marketing, in these spaces, in like on these like YouTube interviews and things like that, you can get lost in the shuffle. And a new project, especially that has no like brand recognition yet, it's easy to just get passed over. So you really do got to make kind of a statement or partner with people that can help give you that platform, I think.
I think they're going in a step in the right direction, though. They got the spaces coming up. They got the partnership with Crocs that they're talking about. So I think that they're definitely going in the right direction to be taken serious and people to look at them.
And I really do like the art. I think an octopus would be a difficult PFP character, and they did a great job. They really did.
Something new too for us.
Yeah,
not that it hasn't been done at all, but at least it's not an ape.
Yeah. And like you said, is there a demand for it? They've got these tridents that are out right now. Like, they're like the top tier thing for them. These are stackable. You can get I believe 2 whitelists with these, and you can stack on top of that. These get you access to their different clans and things, and there's different rarities that come with these. So if you see them trading over on the secondary right now, like, there's people buying them, which is good. They're not all from the same addresses, which is also good. So there's not like a bunch of, maybe like you said, wash trading things going on, but there's a demand for these, which is good to see. At least it's not just like one sale every here and there. That's always a good thing. You want to see that there's actually engagement, people who have a demand for it. And outside of that, the actual project itself is kind of going like the game route, where you can actually interact with your NFTs or use your NFTs to play their games. They're developing games through Cardano Croc Club with the help of them. And they've got a few different things called like games based off of like classic ones. Here they've got a thing of like the classic dog and cat game, where they've got different mechanics, different like you said, stuff that's themed to their like tridents, fish, bubble guns, things like that. And I would love to see maybe some actual gameplay or just like even concept art of this stuff. It's easy to write it down on what it is. I would like to see this as they get going here, and hopefully sooner than later, at least if they're actually developing it. And just be transparent, I guess, would be the biggest thing for people who are starting out right now. Because if you don't give timelines, don't give dates, people, like I said, the hype just blows over pretty quickly. And usually that kills the project before it ever gets started. So definitely would love to see that you get some, okay, it's great you're building this stuff. I would love to see a little bit more from it. Although it's good that you guys can detail it.
Yeah, and I think understanding the climate of where we are, I just saw today, like the Cardano carts, they lowered their mint price. They went to 80 ADA instead of the 100 ADA because they're looking to build that, user base. And I think that understanding and being able to read the market's important. I think we talk about it a lot on our channel, where like we like founders who will pivot, but that doesn't mean we want founders who will pivot all the time. We don't want, there are projects where you'll see like a community member who wants something, and then it's like, you don't want to just see them chase that. You need vision out of your founders. You need a founder who understands where they're heading and what they want to do. And I think for me, like, I like octopuses. I got a couple octopus tattoos. I think they're just really cool. to me, the big thing here comes down to, you know, what happens next and what is the exact plan, and watching them. And I think for me, what I've learned is you don't have to mint everything. You don't have to buy everything, and you can be patient and wait and see. And if this is one that you're excited about, they have a lot of really cool things that they're doing. Research that and dive into it. If you are looking at it and you're not so sure, then there's no harm in waiting. You know, buy some off the floor on secondary, or you know, you may miss one or two sometimes. You know, like, it's not a bad thing to miss a project. It happens.
I thought you guys gave bad financial advice. That was pretty good.
We're being rational. Like,
going off character here.
Don't worry, we'll make up for it in a few minutes.
Well, even that comment you said about them, you know, making sure they're being transparent with the partnerships they've made. I think probably the biggest example that stands out was Boss Cat Rocket Club originally. I remember how a lot of people got turned away because a lot of their initial kind of marketing was centered around, hey, our founder has a Bored Ape, and everyone's like, oh, this is like a Bored Ape Cardano project. And it's like, you know, no, it has nothing to do with the Bored Apes. They just kept saying that for some reason, and everyone got really confused. Like, well, what's the association here? What does the Bored Ape have to do with anything? Are you just saying like he's smart because of that? Like, now we should do what, you know, you're promising. It just never really kind of made sense. And yeah, definitely we've seen that. That's just one of the bigger examples of that. But it's a great point. Is, you know, definitely we've seen other projects that just go, like you said, hey, we just had a giveaway, but there's for some reason saying we have a partnership with them. We don't know who they are.
Yeah,
we had an instance with Bo where he was there was a project that was like saying that he was part of the project, and all it was a communication between them about what the project was and if he maybe could, you know, if there was assistance there. And then next thing you know, there was like a Twitter space, and it was like, we got Bo Diddley doing therapy for us. And it's like, those are those things where you could leave there feeling really confident, or maybe you're a Bad Financial Advice fan, or you just know Bo, you see he has an ape society, and you think, he obviously knows what he's doing or whatever. Like, that's the point of our channel, is to show we actually, like, we're just learning as we go. We're going to make bad moves. We're going to make good moves. But like, the key is we're going to stick to it. And I think that's the thing for me was, you know, Bo comes to me, he's like, they're saying I'm the therapist for their program. And it's like, that's the stuff that's where you have to dig in and really make sure that their partnerships exist on a deeper level, and there's, you know, something more to it than just saying names.
And one of my favorite things to do is like really listen to the founders. If you go to a space and you get to listen to the founder talk, not only what they say is important, but also the things they don't say is important too. Everything gives you important information of who this person is, why they're doing what they're doing, how they're showing up in the space. Get all that information because it's valuable for where you put your money.
Absolutely. I respect founders, especially new ones coming into the space, who will jump into some of those Twitter spaces with some of the hosts in like those productive Twitter spaces to address who they are. You know, make it known. Like, if you're selling your product or whatever it may be, like, yeah, maybe it's octopuses, maybe that's not like your thing, but you hear the person behind that. I know the Mallet Order was a huge example of that, where people weren't too sure. Like, some people in the Discord who were in there and actually got a chance to talk to the team really knew, like, you know, what they were about, but not until they stepped out into the Twitter space world and made themselves known did people really come to respect who they were and like, okay, these people know what they're talking about. And that can have a huge shift for projects out there. So be interesting to see how this Octoworld does. We appreciate the founder reaching out, and like I said, our community. Shout out to I Had Pants over in the Discord right now, and over in chat. You know, talking about them. I believe he's a mod over there. So if you guys have any more questions, bring it up over to I Hate Pants. He can get you guys some information on that. You can go pop by their Discord. We do have some whitelist spots that we can go ahead and give away here at the end. I don't know if you guys, we got 23 people over here. Do we want to just give up? We got 10 of them to give away. And if not, we can, let's hold them off. Let's give 5 away, and we'll hold
5
back.
here, 5 for Twitter or something.
Yeah,
or
we'll hold it back
somewhere in there.
And again, this does not constitute, we don't are endorsing anything like this. You guys, obviously, NFAFA, go do your own research on this project right now. Here, don't come back and say Bad Financial Advice gave you bad financial advice over here. And Freedom 35ers endorsed it. We're giving you guys a platform. Let's go ahead.
Or tell them we gave you bad financial advice.
Yeah.
We're okay with that.
Come back and leave a comment on this video.
Yeah, exactly.
TJ, you want to run this over here?
Yeah, yep. I got an iPod up. And real quick, while you guys are here, check out their channel, Bad Financial Advice. I'm gonna post it in the chat for you guys to look at. Hit that sub button, check them out. They do got some good advice, even though they say bad financial advice.
If you love bad acting and bad advice, come on over.
Hey, right there. I'm subbed over to the channel. They got over 500 subs right here. Make sure you guys are jumping over there. We'll pop this over into the chat for you guys. If you don't have the link, link's also down in the description of this video. Make sure to go give both Bo and Duder a follow on Twitter. Follow them over on their Bad Financial Advice page. Subscribe to them. Do all the things. And make sure to go like their newest video over there, man. Videos, you guys are crushing. What is your schedule too, by the way? Like, you guys drop videos pretty consistently. Do you have a schedule?
We do 2 days for sure. So we do Mondays. Normally we record when we would be doing this. We always usually record. And then we do Thursdays. Every Thursday we record. And then honestly, we find time, man. We just like tomorrow we're gonna film at noon. You know, he's gonna get in the office a little early, and so we like to just get videos up. We do different stuff. So we like to do interviews with founders. We do stuff in terms of that. We've been doing more list stuff and just jokes. We did one like, what type of Degen are you? And we kind of broke down different kinds of Degens. We have stuff where we talk, like you said, we had a whole series on Catalyst and bringing different programs on that were projects that were running through Catalyst. And really, we just try to, if there's something going on that interests us, we try to stay away from the drama, or if we go into the drama, it's usually from a more jovial point of view. But we are definitely very community focused. We love the community. We love the people in the community, and we love to kind of share what's happening and what different people are doing. And so I would say we try to get 4 videos out a week.
Yeah. Dude, you guys have been consistent. I think that shows a lot. Especially, it's not maybe the best time to be a YouTuber in Cardano NFTs at the moment, but you guys are building now in the toughest time, and I think that's the best time to do it, because there's not that many people watching, so you guys have a good chance to go ahead and grow. And if people like your content, like you said, as the market picks back up, you guys are setting yourself up for a good position, and you'll be able to develop the relationships with these people and these founders. They remember that. And it makes it easier as you guys grow to have them back on and become friends, like you said.
Yeah. Well, I think we're very lucky in building in the bear. I think if we built in the bull, we would have lived at a certain place that was high on the top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden the mountain would have fallen out from under us, and then we would have had to get used to that. Like for us, someone comes around and hands us a crumb, and we're like, oh my God, this is incredible. So if the bull comes, it's we're gonna feast and enjoy every ounce of it.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, for watching your guys' stuff, it's been really cool to see your guys' growth in this short amount of time. And again, keep pushing through this stuff, man. You guys offer great content out there. Like I said, it's fun, it's relatable, it's entertaining. And you guys have some great information in there. You bring some great guests on, so it's a good switch up from, like you said, the other YouTubers that are out there. And it's a good way too to kind of network, like you said, and get to know. Our biggest thing that we always kind of reference is that it helps us out so much, because we never knew so much about this space. We kind of just experienced it as we went. So getting a chance to talk to all these different people and hear their perspectives, hear what they're building and how the things move, dude, it just helps our knowledge grow so much more too.
Oh, I love it. Some of my favorite episodes are with Sebastian, or the real builders that are underneath the surface.
Yeah.
It's so enlightening. It really is.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, make sure to go ahead and check them out. If you guys have not, make sure to go hit that subscribe button if you guys are not there. And let's go ahead and run this giveaway for these 5 whitelist spots over here. You got them ready to go, TJ?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we got a little keyword. We're going to run it over there in spirit of bad financial advice tonight. Go ahead and exclamation point BFA over there inside the chat. That'll enter you guys in. We will pick 5 winners, and I will shoot the Discord link right now for them as well, if you guys are not joined up. So you guys just make sure you're over in their Discord so they can assign you the role. Go ahead and pop that up. You guys, if you do win over inside of our thing, just make sure you're in our F35 Discord and open up a ticket inside of our thing, and we'll go ahead and we'll get you guys all sorted out. But other than that, man, I appreciate you guys jumping on tonight, man. It's been a lot of this 2 hours actually kind of flew by. It was a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, we've never done one this long. I can't believe it's already over.
Through.
You'd be surprised, man. The live streams are a lot of do you guys do live streams at all, or is it all mainly recorded content?
So, I guess we can give a little alpha on the Freedom 35ers. We actually are starting this Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start just doing once a week, a little live thing. Nice. We'll start promoting tomorrow for it. And
nice.
It'll be our first week this week.
Awesome, man.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Dude,
We want to be
12
cool.
Friday?
You know?
yeah. So every Friday, man, that's
Okay.
I got something new to look forward to. I always get a chance. I'll try to pop into Thor streams on Fridays when I get a chance, if I have time. So I'll definitely add that to the rotation over there. Man, live streams though, I'll tell you, we found so much more fun, and it's been great to do the podcast and record.
Way more relaxed.
Yeah, and it's just fun to interact, especially if you got an active like chat community and people that show up. Man, it just makes it so much more like interactive. I feel like.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I'm excited to learn. You know, I think that like every time we do a new medium, we have to like figure out the vibe of it. So yeah, that's half the fun.
It takes a second. But yeah, like I mean, we're on number 77 of these right now. I've been doing it. We started off just with, I don't even know what we were doing. We were building transitions and stuff in OBS, and eventually swapped over to StreamYard. Over here, we did Restream, and now we're on StreamYard. We've experimented. We found what works. We built overlays, background music, things like that. So I'm sure you guys will evolve as well and have some fun with it. But it definitely is a different vibe than the pre-recorded stuff for sure.
Yeah.
We feel like we have more fun with it too.
Any guests planned for Friday? You have to say who it is, but any guests on Friday, or is it you two?
Just us two this Friday, but we did talk. We're
Nice.
looking to do some guests. We'd love to have you guys on one week. We'll have to try to plan something.
that'd
set
be
something
great.
up for sure. But we're looking to do guests. We'll bring some guests on. We just want it to be some, a little bit of fun. We're starting to try to like get our personalities out there a little bit more and just let people get to know us. I've been pretty active for about 2.5 years, 3 years now on Twitter.
Yeah.
But it's good for people. I think a lot of people have gotten to know me from that point. But I like the idea of people being able to get to know us on a little bit more of a personal level and engage with us on that way. So that's one of the things we're so excited about.
Dude, 100%. And it offers a new dynamic. Like do you guys have a Discord, or do you ever plan to open a Discord?
So we have a Discord. It actually used to be my Wake Up Movement Discord. I've transitioned it into the Bad Financial Advice Discord. I'm actually looking to do some sort of relaunch here really soon. So we have probably like 100 people in there right now. We do. Nice. I post all of our videos. I post all of our giveaways. But really, I would love to create a support system in there. When I originally set it up, that was the point, was to be able to create a place where people could come and speak about maybe different things that they're dealing with. There's different channels where people can go in, whether it's drug and alcohol support, whether it's just depression and anxiety support, trying to create a place where people can come and try to have that community energy. So that's another thing to be on the lookout for. We're definitely looking to build up the community side of things.
Man, that's awesome. I can tell you, we never thought when we opened up that Discord, we waited, I think, a few months before we did it when we started the channel. And that's when things really were starting to pop off. And we hesitated for a while because we were like, we don't want to just open this and then be like kind of disappointed or nobody shows up. But we were overwhelmed with support to do that. And then, like I said, it's been a constant just hangout once you start getting people in there. And it does help grow the channel, especially as you guys start to go, put more and more stuff out there. It's a good hub for all your content, like you said. And even better that you can link it to what you originally planned it to be, and find a new community through YouTube with that. That's just really cool. So shout out to you guys. I guess TJ, you want to go ahead and we'll run these 5 giveaways real quick? Yeah, and then we'll get ready to sign out, wrap it up on the back end over here.
First one, triple threat. Not surprised.
Nope.
Another one.
There you go.
Moose Slayer. Congrats. Triple 10 Moose Slayer so far. Another one.
Easy peasy. These are making
Rez with the W.
Did Rez win it? Yo, who put that comment earlier that he was going to win again?
That's funny.
I love that.
To be fair, there was only 12 eligible anyway.
There you go. Hey, that's
Rena
fine.
Red, congrats.
Yeah, this is going to be making it super easy
Shark
for us.
Dive, congrats. A new one.
Nice. There we go.
I like it. Shark Dive, lurking over there. I appreciate that. I love the workers. They just kind of hang out and just pop up when the giveaways. I'm surprised that Blake has not entered the chat for the giveaways. Blake usually sneaks in for our giveaways and wins at the end.
Smart.
Yep.
The other two, Arena Red, sorry, that one popped up. And who was the last one over there, TJ?
What was it here?
Shark Dive. Okay.
Shark. Ooh-ha.
Awesome. Perfect. If you guys have won, make sure to go ahead. You are in the F35 Discord. It is pinned at the top of this chat right now. If you guys are not, it's also linked down in the description of the video. Make sure to pop over there and open a ticket. Just screenshot your YouTube username when you guys open up a ticket. And then we'll go ahead and make sure that you guys are in the Octoworld Discord so we can go ahead and submit your names over there. We'll give you all that info when you open up the ticket. But that should be good. Congrats to all the winners. We have 5 more. Maybe we'll mess around and do a Discord break out the old giveaway bot. It's been a while since we did one of those.
True.
So congrats to everybody who won tonight. Also, if you guys are still here with us and enjoying the content or just been hanging out with us tonight, I would appreciate if you go down, hit that like button. If you guys are not subscribed and have been hanging out with us tonight, consider subscribing. You can also go ahead and chat when you do that. We do have subscriber mode only on because it's the bear market and we're building over here. So if you want to hang out and chat, it's free to sub. And we're here every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
No charge. No charge.
No charge over there. And we also will be back on the podcast this week. We're inching closer and closer to episode 100 over on the channel, which is crazy that we've gotten that close. Feels like forever, man. But it's been a lot of fun. So we're gonna get going on that Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And then we'll be in FutureFest, I guess, tomorrow. Maybe we'll come hang out with you guys over in the farmers market.
I'm gonna try to get in there. I really want to get in there, but I know it's gonna be cutting time close with trick or treating, getting the kids down. But as soon as I can, I'm gonna
3 hours, dude.
There.
Yeah, by 9 a.m.
but
we'll be
like,
good to go.
Yeah, my son doesn't fall asleep till like 8:30, so I get like maybe 30 minutes in there. Hopefully,
You should put
Run
them on
around
your
with
last
them.
day. Yeah, run around. Yeah.
I'll just bring my whole computer and set up in there. Perfect.
No, just show them.
Perfect.
You can't bring him with you.
I can look at my phone. I'd do that. I'd rather do that, honestly.
There you go.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, even on the PC.
Done deal.
Show them what you're doing. Show them the video game.
Yeah.
Well, Bo and Dude, or any last words or I appreciate you guys jumping on tonight. Like you said, we check out the channel. Make sure you guys have already subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and click the links below. You can jump into all their content if you guys are looking for more. Beyond that, I guess we'll see you tomorrow, and I guess we're going to be looking forward to Friday, right? Exciting.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. It was so nice being here. We love this community. We love the people, and let's just keep building.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks for having us, gentlemen, man. We appreciate it. Big fans,
Anytime,
and we're excited to be here. We'll have you guys on real soon.
Absolutely. Well, take it easy, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We will catch you guys next week on the show. Peace.